question. That's the $1 million question right there. I hope so. Um, I know it was real sad when he got knocked down and he was, his hand was kind of shaking, and I was
It's
like,
Cincinnati
yeah,
Thursday night game. Yeah,
yeah, that was a very sad. I
yes,
didn't
it
know if it,
was.
yeah, I didn't know if it was career ending or what at that point.
Hey, I thought he broke his back when that
Yeah,
happened.
yeah,
I did. I really that's what I thought had happened. I was like, oh my gosh, he broke his back.
yeah, that was sad to see.
It
You never
was
want to see any. Don't matter.
almost gruesome, you could say.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to see any player get injured.
Hey, Crisco.
Yeah.
I was at the Chucky Mullins game
Okay.
when he broke his back.
Okay.
I
Wow.
was at that game.
Can you
Wow.
guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. My bad. I just wanted to say, hey, Jacob, hop back on, brother. We'll get you in, man. I saw you popped in for a second and popped out while they were trying to answer that question. But hop back in, brother. Let's talk some football. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah.
Crisco, how you like this hat?
Oh, cool, man. Cool.
This is actually the Miami Dolphins draft hat. If we would have actually had a first round pick, they would have been wearing this hat.
Hey, I got a question for you guys.
Go for it.
As Dolphins fans, do you prefer the new logo or the old school?
I like the one on your shirt myself.
All of us, I mean, I would say 80% of the fucking fan base wants the fucking old logo. And
we got to change our banner to the old school shit.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. I mean, I get it. People want to change. They want to sell new jerseys.
I like old school.
Oh, if I change the logo, they got to buy new jerseys and whatever. And I know the game they play, but at the same time, it's like, come on, man. The old logo is much better looking. This shit looks like up in the top corner, our new logo. It looks like a fucking whale. It doesn't even look like a fucking dolphin.
No.
You know what I mean?
You put we got the old school. Can you put the old school logo on that top right corner?
Yeah, I got you. Give me a second.
See, they got that on this. This is the official draft hat for the Dolphins, even though we didn't have a first round pick, thanks to Stephen Ross. Crisco, you know about that story?
No, I know. I didn't hear.
Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins, got busted trying to meet Tom Brady on a yacht.
Yeah. Okay,
we lost our first round pick. We lost our first round pick this year. That's why all the Dolphins fans were sitting around Thursday night cussing the shit out of Steve Ross.
Yeah. Let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think that there's any truth to you keep hearing Tom Brady? Is there any truth
Tom
to
Brady?
that?
Yeah, man. There's a lot of talk about Tom Brady, but maybe if Tua gets hurt about week 10 or week 11, maybe all of a sudden Tom Brady shows up.
I don't even know if that's going to happen. In all honesty, I think that he finally did ride off into the sunset. I think again he realized that he done fucked up. And he promised Giselle he was going to stay home with the kids, spend more time with them. And then he decided to go one more time. And she was like, fuck it, that's it. I think he's done. I think if he finally decided to do it this time, I think he's done.
Probably done.
I don't see him being a Brett Favre where he fucking retired every fucking year and then decided to play every year for another 5 years. I don't see Tom Brady doing that. I just don't.
If Tua gets hurt, Mike White gets hurt, and we're halfway in the playoffs come week 10, week 11, and Tom Brady's available, look out.
I doubt it.
Look out.
I got another question for you guys. So you guys play the Jets twice a year.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets?
Oh, you know what? I got a perfect response right now. So, again, just let me show you this. You're not gonna like it, and I love it because as a Heat fan. So right here, what we're seeing is absolute trolling by Kevin Love to Aaron Rodgers Because not only did he throw one full court pass, but wait for it, he'll throw a second full court pass, and then he's going to do it a third time here in 1 second. And this is exactly what he was over there talking crap to Aaron Rodgers. And you guys will love this. No, come on, turn that off. Thank you. He was talking shit to Aaron Rodgers the entire time, trolling him while doing it. And it was absolute. Say it again.
That was Kevin Love?
Yeah, Kevin Love. We were in New York. We played the New York Knicks in our first game. And Aaron Rodgers was there, brother. Aaron Rodgers was there. And this is the meme that's been going around. Apparently Kevin Love said he's the best quarterback in New York. That's what was hilarious, is he was trolling Aaron Rodgers and told him after those 3 full court passes that he was the best quarterback in New York.
Hey, Crisco, yeah. I said the other night, I think we're going to split with the Jets. We're going to win one, they'll win one. That's what's going to happen. I'm not worried about Aaron Rodgers. He'll end up getting hurt.
What's going on, Raphael? Hell yeah.
He's going to end up getting hurt.
I agree. I don't know necessarily if he's going to get hurt per se, but I think he's going to have a rough time. The thing is if you remember, Crisco, when he had Devontae Adams and he had Robert Tonyan, he had Randall Cobb, he had a Corey Linsley at center, he had the other dude at running back. Bro, they had a stacked team, but Aaron Rodgers still couldn't get it done, and he would complain that he didn't have enough weapons. Right. Well, you're going to the Jets, and the Jets sure as hell don't have any weapons.
Right. And that's the thing about Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, Crisco.
Yeah.
You nailed it when you said Carr was the best option, because Brady and Rodgers are Band-Aids. That's a short-term deal with those guys.
Yeah.
They're not going to
even if you get Aaron Rodgers for 2 years, you still know it's only 2 fucking years. And listen, you got to give the Jets credit, right? I got to give the Jets credit. But to a degree, you have to sit here and understand that their defense is stacked, right? They got a great defense. They got a great coach. But here's the thing. This is where I'm not overly concerned about Rodgers, because they don't have the weapons. And this year, and we're going to get into it here in a few minutes, is the draft. We picked up, another great cornerback. And I think bringing back Needham, who was injured last year, bringing back Brandon Jones. Now we have Ramsey instead of Byron Jones, pretending he was hurt all year long when he wasn't. I think our backfield is stacked. I think our secondary is stacked. And I think that we have the ability to match up with these teams that have weapons. And so I'm not overly concerned about Rodgers.
We're stacked. We're not worried about the Jets are the Jets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not worried about the Jets.
And we sure as hell ain't worried about the New England Patriots, because they got Mac Noodle Arm Jones. And in reality,
Crisco, what do you think about Mac Jones?
He's all right. He's okay.
Who's a better quarterback?
Crisco, no. Let's not lie now, Crisco. He threw into 6-person coverage with one wide receiver there, got intercepted and returned. That is not okay. That's bad. That's bad.
Who's a better quarterback, Mac Jones or Tua?
Oh, I go with Tua.
Oh
yeah.
Okay.
I go with Tua.
I would too.
But I give him some. What's going on, Mace Taggart, brother? Yeah, man. I think that when it comes down to what we did in the draft, the way that the Dolphins approached it, a lot of people were upset. There were a lot of people, who were getting frustrated that Greer didn't, trade up into the first round, or that, we didn't go with the flashy pick with the first pick. We went, cornerback in the second round. Then we went running back, which I think should quiet a lot of people who've been yelling for years that Greer needed to draft a running back early. Well, you guys finally got your wish. So let's see what the guy does. I'm excited for him. We're going to talk in depth about it. But it's the overall view for us as Dolphins fans was we only had 4 picks to begin with. So in reality, we picked guys with good value, and it may not be the sexy pick, but it gets the job done, and it shows a little bit into Greer's mindset, which we'll also get into. But tell us overall what you felt about the Saints draft and how you feel about your team and their front office moving forward.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I wanted the Saints to do in the first round. I wanted us to go after Michael Mayer from Notre Dame, the big tight end. He didn't go into the second round to the Raiders, but I mean, our defensive line has been depleted, so we drafted. I don't have their names right off the bat, but the BC, I believe his name is, the big defensive tackle from Clemson. Now, Folsey, I believe that's his name. He's a defensive end from Notre Dame, a second round pick. I really like him. I watched him. He set the Notre Dame record for sacks. And then in the third round, y'all know about Alvin Kamara. I'm sure y'all know that. He's probably going to miss a few games this year. So we went ahead and drafted another running back to pair with.
Somebody's got a question for you.
Okay.
Let him finish. Let him finish this, and then ask him the question.
Okay. To pair with Jamal Williams, who come from Detroit. He had the most touchdown in the league last year. So and then we drafted a little quarterback that I can't remember his name, but he is really a big Drew Brees fan, and this is like his thing to play for the Saints. So our quarterback position right now, we got Carr and we got Jameis Winston. I'm sure y'all so overall, I thought we filled some needs, but I'm gonna tell y'all, man, they got a lot of teams that got better this year. Teams like, I'm gonna tell y'all, like the Lions, just a lot of teams. Even the Houston Texans.
Yep, the Texans, Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. These teams. So it's hard to judge. I think it's gonna come down a lot to injuries this year. Who's gonna step out and then of course you got teams like the Bengals, you got the Chiefs, the normals that are gonna continue to do well. Yeah, but that's my take on it. I think we did good.
So what if you had to give it a grade? What would your grade be?
I'd go probably a B.
Okay, that's what's up. So yeah, Cap for Life's got a question for you. He said he heard that the Saints aren't exercising the 5th-year option on Cesar Ruiz. Is that true?
Yeah, they not exercising the option. I read that today too. So we drafted a guard as well. So that must mean that Ruiz is going to be on his way out, I guess.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. Things change. A lot of things change.
Is he a good player? You like
him?
him?
Ruiz, he was all right.
Yeah,
it was okay. I mean, if they're not exercising that option, though, he obviously he probably is. It's time for him to go.
Please, he said, "Where's Sharif at?" To hear that Cesar Ruiz isn't getting extended. Oh shit, that's funny. Yeah, boy, look at that. Like After Life said, somebody call Sharif. But yeah, I felt like with us as the Dolphins, we picked up Cam Smith. Me being a huge Gamecock fan, I was really happy with that. I think a lot of people were unhappy with the fact that he is a cornerback, and we have cornerbacks. I mean, we're paying Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey, we have a couple young guys that stepped up last year.
Crisco, so CT went to South Carolina, graduated. So he knows about our first round pick was Cam Smith, the cornerback from South Carolina. Yeah. So CT knows about this guy.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. And I like him. I mean, he's young, he's strong, he's aggressive, he's a ball hawk. He's very much like God damn it, Big Philly. Leave Big Philly back there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're cool, man. You're cool. But he reminds me a lot of X and the fact that he's super aggressive.
Dude, that's what I said.
Yeah. He can tackle. He makes tackles on the blitz. He's a good run stuffer. When the run comes outside, he's willing to chase up screens. He's very aggressive at the line on screens. He's great in press man coverage. He's great coverage skills. His hands are amazing. I mean, you got people have watched the highlights and all that. I mean, just go watch him. He's a good player. He's a young guy. He can be molded sitting behind X and Jalen Ramsey. And again, if we get lucky enough that, that he can whip into shape when we lose X in a year or two,
we're good.
Well, we got a guy raring and ready to go. And the same way with Cater Kohu, we've got, a lot of young guys, Trill Williams still. We got a lot of young talent in the cornerback room. It's just whether or not you can stay healthy and you're going to develop and be consistent and be a starter. Because, again, Jalen Ramsey's only going to be here for a couple years too. Yeah. It's not like this is a permanent solution. And so I like the fact that Greer was forward-thinking enough to say, hey, yeah, I could go get the sexy pick just to appease my fan base. Right. But at the same time, he was like, all right, let me play this smart. And then in the third round, he went and got the flashy guy that the other half of the fan base has been bitching about by getting a third round early running back. And A-Chain is a great player.
Cool. I just had a big chicken hawk fly over my head.
Oh, that's awesome up there.
Yeah, part of living in the country.
Should have shot that sumbitch.
It's so dark, I barely saw it.
Yeah, but yeah, for us, it turns into, in my opinion. Hey, Big Philly wants in now. My bad. Goddamn. Now we're playing fucking pick him in and put him out.
Hey guys, I'm gonna head out. I gotta go in.
All right. Hey,
thank y'all for having me. I really appreciate it.
Hey,
yeah, man. Anytime, brother.
I'll definitely be back.
Y'all man. You see us on. Let's go.
You have an open invitation every other Monday night at 8:30. We'll be here, man.
I'll be here. Y'all have a great night, gents.
All right, you too, brother.
Great dude.
Yeah, what's going on, Big Philly?
Great dude right there, huh, CT?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. What's up, Big Philly?
Ahí, tranquilo, ya tú sabes, just chilling. We're just chilling out here, sunny South Florida.
Chilling.
Hell yeah.
Now, I wanted to ask you a question.
Saying, I enjoyed him coming on. We appreciate him. Like I said, I wanted you guys to shout out Crisco. We'll throw it in the description here in a minute. But
yeah, he's got 3,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, man. And like I said, go check him out, bro. Crisco Country Life, and yeah, man, cool dude for sure.
For sure.
So
I wanted to ask him, bro, if he thought that Jameis was a trade bait. He could be trade bait, bro.
He could be. I mean, at this point, you got Derek Carr.
Team like New England might want to take advantage of that. You'll be trading crab legs for lobster legs, but it's all right. Lobster claws.
Here.
What's going on, Amicus? What's up, brother? Yeah, man. Like we were saying, though, I love A-Chain. The dude is fast as hell. I think it would, it's a really good pick for us. It appeases the guys that have been screaming about.
You're saying I'm sorry, bro. They're saying he has Olympic speed. What do you think about that?
Yeah, man. I mean, the dude's 4.32, and like we've talked about before, the guy's got speed, and I love the fact that he can contribute in multiple ways. No, he's not going to be a Jeff Wilson Jr. He's not just going to be a mow everybody down type back. But again, it adds to the fucking list of stallions we got in the stables. And I mean, again, we talk about Tyreek Hill and Waddle and Mostert and now this dude. And I mean, come on, man. It's speed fucking everywhere.
Hell yeah.
But again, like I was trying to say, though, is I feel like I give credit to Greer in one aspect of not reaching for someone in the second round, even though I would have probably, or in the third round, but I would have probably addressed middle linebacker. There were some inside backers left, including Simmons from Clemson. So, overall, though, after I thought about it, and talking to it on the, to everybody on the panel, we were reacting live, it's still a good pick. It's still a good pick. And at the same time, it allows Chris Greer to appease these guys that have been bitching for 5 years now about wanting an early running back. And if it happens, though, if the guy fucking shits the bed, well, then when Greer doesn't draft another high running back, you know why. So go ahead, Breezy. No, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like,
why would he shit the bed, man? I said going into the draft, I said there's going to be a lot of good running backs in the second and third round. And I mean good running backs. And A-Chain was one of the ones I was talking about.
No. And I agree. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying if he does, everybody's been bitching whether he gets injured or he doesn't work out or whatever the case may be. Then you'll know why Greer has what is it? This is the second time.
We got Flobo in the building.
Oh, what's going on?
I mean, linebacker. I mean, maybe Channing Tindall's coming on. Could that be? Could that be what's going on?
You would hope, but here's the thing, and this is one of the other things I want to talk about is, in reality, if we talk about linebackers, we've got David Long Jr., the guy we brought in now. I hate the fact that in reality, other than Chubb playing the outside, and Baker, it almost makes Baker obsolete. And at this point, again, we got Tyndall, who we drafted. We also have Cameron Good, who we drafted. Neither of them played any significant snaps, right? So it's like, are they just not showing up, or are you going to draft another guy? Are you hoping that they're going to take Baker's spot?
That's probably why we did not go linebacker. All the fans would have been, we just took 2 last year, right? And I don't know. Yeah,
man, and I agree, right, with Cap for Life, and that was something that I was just getting to is, but then at the same time, we get the Jackson State middle linebacker as a UDFA, so it's like,
what I say, CT.
Yeah, and Big Phil called it. Like I said, we knew. Yeah, and they brought it out, but they didn't confirm it the night that we were expecting it to. Now, Big Philly said he heard early that we were going to sign him, and he was right, man, because I was like, well, they didn't confirm it yet.
I did it on the mock draft live, bro. You kept laughing at me saying that I did the same mock draft 50 times because that's where I knew where all the A-pluses were late in the rounds.
Yeah, in the 7th. We were even able to get him, not have to draft him. Which is cool. Like I said, I mean, my whole point is we had a lot of holes that we needed to fill, and I think that we filled quite a bit of them, even if it's not when I would have expected or what I would have wanted us to address them. But,
right.
You got to at least give, Greer credit. He's came out. He's put on, He's put in a bunch of young players. Obviously, Vic Fangio was definitely, getting his side of things. He wanted Cam Smith, and they gave Mike McDaniel, A-Chain, and it's like, okay, well, I can see, and then they went ahead and got a tackle, and then it's you can't complain about it, What's good, CB83?
A lot of people said, and I was one of them, just go O-line with the first pick. F it. Go best player available, O-line. Let's start building this, and then, but no. But I'm cool with the corner, man. I like our picks, but we didn't go O-line until 7th round or whatever. CB.
Yeah, and I agree. And then you put in position again. I didn't want Greer to fucking go early with the offensive lineman. He hasn't proved that he can fucking scout them well enough. And
right.
It is what it is. But at the same time, we did get a couple. We got our late. We got the 7th rounder, and we picked up a couple UDFAs at OT2. And I mean, I just don't want to see fucking Greer stuck on fucking Jackson and fucking Eichenberg. I'm just tired of seeing this shit.
And really, the draft is not going to fix Jackson and Eichenberg, right? The draft is not. You need a grown ass man on that O line, and unless it's a top 10, 20 pick, you're not getting a starting O line normally in the draft.
Yeah.
He's going to get his ass kicked.
Definitely, and again, it's like we've talked about. It's sometimes Greer makes boneheaded fucking head scratching moves, and then other times he makes great moves, and it's like,
I'm cool with the draft. I know a lot of people. What's everybody's thoughts? I thought it was a good draft. A lot of people are saying our draft sucked. They're like, I don't know. I don't get it. I'm cool with it because
I think everybody wanted flashy wide receivers and running backs, and they didn't want to take a cornerback. They felt like we already had enough in the cornerback room, and then they also complained again that we didn't trade back up into the 1st round, and so they're mad at Greer for that. And I'm not mad at him. I mean, why waste that? We already had our 1st and 3rd taken next year fucking too. So again, which again fucking infuriates me because, New England can fucking cheat all they want. Arizona can cheat all the fuck they want, and they get nothing.
Yeah.
And then you're going to take 2 years of 1st and 3rd round picks. It's fucking ridiculous. But, I mean, the dude didn't have a lot to fucking work with. And we had 4 picks. So be it.
And that's what I really only put stock in the first couple picks, man.
Yeah.
Because after that, it's a true crapshoot.
Yeah, man. Unless, like I said, I mean, knowing again Cam Smith and A-Chain, I mean, you can't be disappointed with those picks. Understanding that again, you're 6, 7 round guys. Again, Greer gets lucky every once in a while. Where he really has talent is we always find one UDFA that makes our fucking team every year, and it never fucking fails.
I meant to ask Crisco about Braylon Sanders because he knows about him. Braylon Sanders tore LSU up in fucking college, dude.
Yeah, and like I said, I was overall happy with it. You can't complain too damn much. But at the same time, it's more about you being able to put yourself in the position going forward. You can't put all your capital into this fucking draft again if Tua doesn't work out or whatever the case may be, and you have no capital whatsoever. You're fucked.
Did we take any kind of quarterback at all? UDFA or anything?
Yeah, we brought in James Blackman from FSU, but he sucks. So I ain't even. He's nothing but a fucking camp body.
Yeah, he'll be gone soon.
Yeah, bro. So, I mean, I was happy with it. I'm still concerned down the road how we're going to handle, the salary cap. You can only push the bitch down the road, kick the can down the road so long. Eventually, you got to pay up. And it's like, if that's the case, why in the hell is it that God damn it, the Rams this year sucked? Well, because they finally had to fucking pay all those contracts. Then they had to cut a bunch of people to get under the salary cap, and now look at them.
That's on management, man. If we get in a bad position, that's on management. So
yeah,
we're trying to win a Super Bowl right now, and I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm not saying there's a window. I disagree with the whole window deal either. I don't agree with that. There's a window. A lot of people say that, but I don't agree with that. A winning team, is there a window in KC? What's the window in KC right now?
Well, I think it depends on the team because you have to understand.
Philly? What's the window in Philly right now? 15 fucking years?
Well, it comes on to when you have to start paying Jalen Hurts real fucking money.
Come to the money, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's where we're in the same situation with Tua. Because again, we gave him the 5th-year option, but if he balls out next year, which we all expect him to, well, okay.
Yeah,
most people expect him to. And the thing is if he can stay healthy and he can ball out like he did last year, we're going to have to fucking pay him astronomical money. And the thing is are you going to pay that money this year? Yeah. And I agree with Amicus's point with that too I mean, if the quarterback's there and the money's right and whatever, you can field a competitive team, that's great. But again, if you don't have the money or you don't have the quarterback to do it, then you're shit out of luck. And that's kind of where it comes down to. Again, us with Tua is, so he balls out next year. Do we try to pay him at the end of next year before he fucking plays on his 5th-year option and try to extend him? Or are you going to wait another fucking year and then have to play, a Lamar Jackson situation or a Daniel Jones situation? You know what I mean?
I think you wait another year is what I think you do in that situation.
I don't know, man, because then again, you're putting yourself into a Lamar Jackson or Daniel Jones type situation where you're forced to either pay them.
I guess it depends. It depends.
Or if they leave, then you got to start all the fuck over again.
It depends on how good he plays, man. He could retire for a Dolphin, man. I don't know.
And I agree, but you get what I'm saying, though, is if you put yourself in the position where he balls out and you don't pay him, and then he comes out and he plays another good year, he might not want to fucking sign with your ass again. And then what? Then you're fucking your dick is in the dirt and you're doing it all over again.
I know what you mean. I got you.
Yeah, man.
I got you. What's up, Canes? And so who knows, man? I hate to even get into that as a fan because we don't know what the fuck's going on.
No, I know, but it's comforting, I guess, to some fans that look long term to say, hey, at least the GM is preparing himself for the worst and hoping for the best, not expecting the best, and then if not, you're fucked.
Right. Well, every player's different too. Right. Yeah,
but let's be honest. I mean, no, it's not like, even like I said last night, when Amicus and I were talking, it's not like he's going to go out there and get, 180 or $260 million contract with 180 million guaranteed. No, he's not. But if he plays well enough, you can give him, say, 180 million, 100, 120 of it guaranteed. And that would suffice. I think that he would be good with that. But in reality, is it worth the gamble? Like Amicus is saying now, it is. It's the gamble of, do you pay him now and hope he fucking gets even better than he was in year 3 or 4 or year 4? hoping that he's going to be just as good, if not better, in year 5? Do you try to pay him after the 4th year, or do you fucking wait? Because if you wait, like he said, then you're going to have to pay him big later if you wait. You know? So it's almost the damned if you do, damned if you don't. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. But I just, like I was saying earlier with the linebacker situation and Greer is, okay, so you didn't address it. What happens when you get into training camp, OTAs, and you realize that Tyndall or Cameron Good or, you know, Baker isn't just cutting it in Fangio's scheme? Well, now you're back to square one. I mean, in reality, there's a couple guys out there that are still free agents, and there may be a couple guys cut here and there from teams. You know, if they drafted young guys or whatever, they're going to have to make hard cuts. That we can bring in some veteran guys on the cheap to help play that rotational role, because again, we know David Long Jr. is going to be, you know, the primary middle linebacker along with Baker out there. But again, if you're going to run a dime, you're going to take one of those linebackers off the field. And I guarantee you the Dolphins are not taking Bradley Chubb off the field and leaving Baker on the field. Nah, they're going to fucking take Baker off the field. And so I feel like, again, for the money we're paying Baker only to play in certain sub packages, and then when you're not, there's still other guys out there that can play your role just as well as you as rotational players that are only going to cost us $4 or $5 million a year instead of 13. I don't know. What do you think, Big Philly? Because I know you like Baker, but how do you feel about that?
I think I'm fine with Baker, brother.
Say it again. You're a little bit low, brother.
I said, I would stick it out. I mean, you know how I feel about Baker, so I would stick it out with Baker. So,
even at 13 a year?
Yeah, why not? What's the average that linebackers are making right now?
Well, I'm saying for a for him, what he's going to be playing in this new system, it's not gonna. It doesn't. This system doesn't fit Baker, brother, and you know it. Because he's not going to be blitzing as much as we did with Boyer and Flo. Again, if he's in a situation where, again, we're going to put 5, DBs on the field, you know damn right he's getting taken off before Chubb is. So if the guy's only going to be in certain packages, as well as the fact that, you know, there are cheaper options out there that it could allow you to, say, get another, get a center, or to bring in another offensive tackle. You know what I mean? Why the hell not get rid of his ass if it's going to save you $8 million? Because all you're doing is paying a guy, what's his name? Damn it. We were just talking about him earlier, Bleezy. Couple of those guys.
Who?
He's that inside linebacker. God damn it.
Tatum? Tyndall?
Which one?
No. Not ours. It was Evans, Miles Jack, and
yeah, you were talking about Miles
Rashad
Jack
Evans,
and,
Rashad Evans, yeah.
Right.
So these guys, again, they're still free agents. Now, again, Evans is only wanting $4 or $5 million a year. The guy had it over 100 tackles. He's much better in coverage than Baker. And again, he's only going to be costing $4 to $5 million a year. Why am I paying Baker $13 fucking million? Or for that matter, yeah, Miles Jack, he missed one game last year. But again, even if he's going to cost us 5 or 6, and we're still saving $7 million, he's much better in coverage than Baker, and he can play the run. Whereas, again, Baker, yeah, he's a tackling machine, but he makes tackles 5-10 yards down the fucking field every play.
Isn't Baker the captain of our defense? Hadn't he been the captain? Or no, that's Landon Roberts. Right?
Yeah, Atlanta. Well, yeah, but It's
Isn't Baker the one out there calling the plays? I mean, that's what you got to take a look at that too, man. You can't
it was what's his name was calling plays. Landon Roberts. Roberts was making all the calls.
Okay.
But it's again, my whole point though is even though he's gone, oh yeah, Baker may be the best. Well, then why in the fuck did you bring David Long Jr. in? You know what I mean? This dude's going to learn to call the fucking plays, and it makes fucking. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Is he a middle linebacker, or is he more outside?
No, he's an interior linebacker, bro. He's coming in to replace Roberts, bro.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, David Long Jr. is here to replace Roberts, which is, again, why I'm saying it makes fucking Baker obsolete.
Well, Baker's outside, though. He's not inside.
No, I understand that. What I'm saying is with that being there, we now have Bradley Chubb that's going to be at the outside linebacker, right? Now, when you're running a 5 DB set, you have to take one of those 3 linebackers off the field. Are you going to take Bradley Chubb off the field? Hell no. Hell no.
Is Chubb a linebacker or a defensive end?
He's playing outside linebacker for us. Our DNs are freaking Jalen Phillips and, well, it was, whoever, Seiler, whoever, because Ogba got injured. But now that Ogba's coming back, the DNs are going to be Ogba and Jalen Phillips, bro.
Ogba, Phillips, and then who's in the middle? Chubb and Long?
Nah, they're going to have Chubb on the outside. They're going to have Christian Wilkins and Seiler.
We're playing a 3-4, right?
4-3 or a 3-4. Because again, they're still gonna, even if you're playing the 3-4, it would be Ogba, Wilkins, and Phillips. But again, if you have that, yeah, you're gonna have Baker out there. But you do understand that Fangio loves to run that inverted 5-2, where he has that 2 outside linebackers at the line of scrimmage and the 3 down linemen. So it gives you that 5-2 look.
Baker's got sideline to sideline speed too that Chubb may not have.
Well, I mean, isn't that the point of having David Long Jr. and then you drafted Tyndall and Cameron Good because Tyndall has the same sideline to sideline speed as Baker does?
We're money committed to Chubb, so it's not like we're moving off him, right?
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, though, is you put yourself in the position where are you just giving up on Tyndall because you drafted Tyndall to replace Baker? Yeah. They're the same exact fucking player.
No, that makes
sideline to sideline speed, decent in coverage underneath.
Maybe that's a factor. If Tyndall's coming on, then hell yeah, we need to get rid of Baker.
Well, obviously, I don't think he was when he got sparing snaps last year.
He didn't get very many.
And neither did Cameron Good. Neither did Eric Izukama. But we drafted a wide receiver in the 6th round anyway.
Braylon Sanders took those snaps, dude. Braylon Sanders is going to be our wide receiver 3. You heard it here first.
We'll see. We'll see, man. He might. But again, then why didn't we got rid of Cedric Wilson? Didn't we?
I don't know. Have we yet? I know we brought. So you're gonna say why we bring in Berrios and Chosen? That's what you're about to say.
No.
Huh?
I'm saying like in general though. If we have Braylon Sanders, we brought in Berrios, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, like how many fucking and I get it, it's the off season or whatever, but I'm more referring to again, who your 5 and 6 because we also brought back Sherfield, did we not?
Did we?
It was either Sherfield, one of the other, Sherfield or Craycraft, one of the two. I think it may have been Craycraft we kept.
Hold the phone. Because I remember we all know Sherfield went to Buffalo and made an ass out of himself.
So then it's Craycraft who stayed with us then. I knew it was one of those two.
I like Craycraft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sherfield's with the Bills.
Yeah, Sherfield is with the Bills, but we still have
I like Craycraft.
Craycraft
showed out last year a little bit.
Yeah, and that's because, again, he also plays special teams as a gunner. So, again, he has more value, where.
And it's about that continuity. That's why I think we may hang on to Baker, man, believe it or not. But he's expendable, dude. I agree with you that if we can get rid of him or get some value for him, because you would think you could get some value for him, then deal him. I'm down with that. I don't have a problem dealing Baker.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I'm at with the running back situation. We've been talking about it on our live things of the draft and whatever is, we have fucking 8-9 running backs on the roster and it's realistic who you're going to keep. And I truly believe that. Yeah, we already established Sherfield's gone. Yep. And again, with Cedric Wilson still being here, or not Cedric Wilson, we have Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr., Gaskin is back, Ahmed is back. We just drafted A-Chain. I mean, how many damn running backs? You're not going to keep all of them, and obviously you need the camp bodies, but then everybody's saying, oh, we're still going to get Dalvin Cook. No, we're not. For Greer to come out and make that selection in the third round, I think it absolutely deads the talk of us getting Dalvin Cook. I don't see that happening. And again, we've already paid Mostert.
If you think we're still going to get Cook, yeah, need to think again. We ain't getting Cook, bro.
Yeah.
It's running backs.
Yeah, I agree.
We're about to cut some running backs.
Yeah. So, and I'm in the same thing of
Larry Donka is not on the team anymore. This just in from G-Man.
Yeah. Sweet. But yeah, I mean, you look at the plethora of guys we have at both of those positions, and then we continue to say, all right, it's all right. The offensive tackle position, we drafted a guy in the 7th round. We grabbed a couple of UDFAs. That tells me that Grew's going to continue to hope that Austin Jackson is going to be a good right tackle.
How can your management undervalue your offensive line, especially when you have a quarterback as fragile as Tua? You know what that is, guys? That's the definition of bad management.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. And it comes to the point.
G-Man, the Dolphin. You got something to say about that, bitch? I'm just kidding. Man. I didn't mean to say that.
And no, I mean, nah, you're good. The whole point is it comes into, how can you sit here and say, look what I'm doing? Okay, you went and got the shiny new toy, the shiny new running back. Yeah. It's because we got a shiny new running back. Oh, we're going to forget about the fact that it doesn't matter if you have a freaking great running back if you don't have the offensive line to fucking block for him or the quarterback. You're not going to throw the ball or fucking run the ball because your offensive line sucks. Again, like it has for the Dolphins for the past 20 fucking years, minus 1 year of the unicorn line, and we only got 6 games out of the unicorn line. And so it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So sometimes again,
I was kidding, bro. I was just kidding, man.
Yeah. But the whole point is you come back to this. Greer does some good things, and then he does some fucking stupid head scratching things, and it's like, are we really going to go into another year hoping that this offensive line is magically going to change? I mean. Well, I mean, in reality, Robert Hunt's fine, and I'm good with Armstead. Yeah, he's injured. We needed somebody to come in and work behind him to take over. But we have that issue. We have issue with Austin Jackson. We still don't have a fucking left guard. I mean, we tried Eichenberg and that shit didn't work. Greg Little played pretty well at times, and then there were times where you were scratching your head going, what the fuck is he doing? Yeah, exactly. And I agree with that. And that's where I'm concerned. And I really wanted Greer to fucking do more to address this offensive line. Or fuck. I mean, you could have gotten a center and moved fucking Connor Williams back to fucking guard and tried to pick up another veteran tackle. There are a couple veteran tackles still left out there that we could possibly pick up. Now, again, are they, pristine fucking top caliber starters? No, they're not. But at the same time, if you got another one to sit behind, Armstead in case he gets injured, or have them take over, and if Greer is so fucking set on continuing to support Austin Jackson, then let Austin Jackson be a backup to swing tackle until he can prove he can get the fucking job done. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because this shit ain't cutting it, man. Every year we're playing fucking musical chairs with guys with injuries, and then
I don't know. They pulled a couple guys out of their ass last year with Shell, and I don't even know who else.
Yeah, it was Shell and Greg Little. But the thing is when you look at it, here's the fucking thing that drives me nuts, though, is did Shell play other fucking worldly? No, but he was fucking solid. The fucking guy gave up plays. He gave up set. That's fuck. But we found this dude on the fucking street, right, and he was playing better than fucking Austin Jackson.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
And I agree with fucking G, man. Again, Austin Jackson, bro, the You're dude right. He's so fucking mentally compromised. Every time he gets beat, he fucking panics and holds. Then he screws himself up because even before the play starts, he gets so anxious that he'll fucking make a false step and go the wrong fucking direction and then get beat. And then guess what? He fucking panics and he holds. And then it's other times he'll sit there and he'll go, oh, okay, well, you beat me around the edge last time, so I'm going to take a wider kick step. He takes that wider kick step and they go, oh, you're going to freaking leave that wide open gap? Oh, they're going to fucking do a spin move and get right into the fucking quarterback. He just, bro, he has the physical talents. He just doesn't have the freaking mental aspect of the game to go with it.
Well, okay. And now let's take a look at Eichenberg. He's a natural tackle. And they've got him playing inside at left guard, where people get underneath him, and they put him on skates, man. He's been on skates since he's been here, man.
Yeah, and that's the frustrating part about Greer, though, is so you tried him at tackle, and that shit didn't fucking work. And, so then you go, okay, well, we switched Robert Hunt from tackle to fucking guard. So, that worked out for us. Let's try to do it with Eichenberg too. But in reality, Eichenberg is nowhere near fucking Robert Hunt. Robert Hunt is a fucking mauler. That dude will play in the phone booth any fucking day of the week. But the thing is Eichenberg's not that dude. And the fact is just like with Brandon Shell, though, Eichenberg gets hurt. We put Greg Little in, who's another guy we found on the fucking street. And he outplayed fucking Eichenberg. He played extremely well his first few games, and then he kind of averaged out over the rest. But again,
who was that
we
guy?
Found these guys on the fucking street.
They showed the starting lineup against the Jets, I think it was, and our left guard was some guy, his last name was Cotton. And I was like, oh, okay, our left guard is Cotton? Okay, never heard of him.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, it's when guys that you're picking up off the fucking street are playing better than your fucking starters, that's terrible. As a GM, bro, it makes you look like an idiot.
That man, Greer undervalues the O-line. Go look at the Patriots draft picks. I did at a glance, and look how many offensive linemen they took.
Yeah, man.
That's how you build your O line. What's up,
yeah,
Ryan?
but you also got to remember that New England had like 10 or 11 picks, and they picked two of fucking everybody.
They went heavy with the O line and the guards and tackles, and that's how you do it, man.
I agree. What's up, Ron Levy? How you doing, brother?
Hey guys, what's going on?
What's
going
up?
on,
Doing good, CT. How you doing?
Hanging in there, brother. Like I said.
Yep.
Go ahead, Ron.
Pissed off. You guys all pissed off at the draft?
Oh no, I like it, brother.
Are you pissed off at it?
No, I'm not. I'm not pissed off. I'm hoping and I'm optimistic they're still going to do something with free agency before trading camp for the O-line. But other than that, I understand the Cam Smith pick. I love the 8-chain pick. I was on his bandwagon from the beginning because of his speed coming out of the backfield. But
yeah,
the Cam Smith was a head scratcher. I understand it. I understand that after last year, get a little gun shy about having enough corners, especially with the quarterbacks we're going to face this year. It's a gauntlet of quarterbacks we're facing this year. So,
oh yeah,
we can't have enough corners. So, and this kid's supposed to be, the first, second round talent. So we'll see what happens.
He looks like Xavier Howard on his highlights, man. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's who he reminded me of.
It's funny. We do well with secondary in the second round. We got Javon Holland, we got Xavier Howard.
Yep.
Hopefully this guy will be sort of the same boat.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
That's where I was. Like I said a little bit earlier, it's. And I agree with G-Man. The problem is we rotate these guys so much when they get injured. We don't let them stick to a position. And then this is the biggest problem is, again, I don't know if it's Greer himself overriding his scouts or if his scouts just suck that fucking bad. I don't know. I don't know which one it is. But and I agree with this sentiment too. You can't say that the guy hasn't tried. He's tried to give us guys. The problem is it's the scouting. Everybody you bring in, other than Robert Hunter, Connor Williams, or Armstead, who are established guys before they got here, and you knew what they were when you traded for them. Other than Robert Hunt, bro, nothing else has fucking worked.
Well, CT, here's the problem. They reached for Austin Jackson because of the run on tackles that year. That was a reach pick, and Eichenberg, actually everybody had him touted very highly. So I can't blame him for that. I blame him for the Jackson pick. But
to move up for a guy like that, when you already know you've done this before, why would you move up and screw up again? And this is where, again, I made the argument, get a lineman in free agency because you know what you're getting. And then draft the fucking young receivers and whatever and make your bones there. If you know you suck at drafting linemen, stop fucking drafting them.
And here's the other problem, moving them around. The offensive linemen take time to gel together too. And you're not playing with the same guys. You're playing with different guys every game. You're not getting cohesive. You're not becoming a unit playing together. And it's the toughest position on the field to learn how to play together.
Square peg, round hole.
Yep, exactly. And another thing that frustrates me is how many times is, it's not just the O-line though. It's the fucking linebacker position. It's been, it's us, signing Danielle Ellerby, all these people for multitude of years. And that's what frustrates me about that comment right there is I agree. Maybe there is time, or maybe it is time for some new scouts and shit. But even Greer, though, when Greer wasn't here, we still had a problem with scouting offensive fucking linemen. It's not fucking strictly just Greer, though. That's the frustrating part.
I have a problem with changing not necessarily. So often. We have to stay consistent and stable for a while, man. We got to give this an organization a chance to become stable and consistent, so that people will know what their roles are. People will know what to expect when they come in the building. You're not changing every 3 years. It doesn't work. You look at all the teams that are successful: the Steelers, the Niners, the Ravens, the Chiefs. They stay stable throughout the years. They have a bad year, okay, we'll make it up next year. But they have faith in their coach and their front office, and that's what we need to do.
Well, Ron, you're exactly right, but you have to have the right people in place to have longevity. You know what I mean?
I agree. And let me tell you something. As bad as Greer has made some picks, he's also done very well. Look at Christian Wilkins. Look at Raekwon Davis, Robert Hunt, Waddle, Phillips, Holland, Brandon Jones, Big Ankle. We got a lot of young talent on this team. He built this roster in 3 years. Yeah, we had a lot of talent.
You're right. I'm not going to argue about that.
He probably could have done a little bit better, but I can't blame him. He's hit on a lot of these picks, and we got a very talented roster. Nobody wants to trade with him because he fleeces everybody. We got fucking Jalen Ramsey for a 3rd round pick. Come on.
And I agree, and that's what I'm getting at. It's the one or two things that he doesn't fucking do well, a la the fucking drafting lineman.
I agree with that.
If you would fucking just go, okay, that's one of my weaknesses. So how do I address that? I address that by going out and fucking getting them in free agency and draft the positions I do draft well.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
100% agree, CT. 100% I agree with you.
It's the same thing with middle linebackers, bro. It's like, look how many linebackers we've taken and how many have panned out. And everybody wants to point to Baker. No, Baker was it was a no-brainer. It's not like, you were reaching for, bro. He was a good linebacker. You knew he was a good linebacker. You got him at a great spot.
And they took McMillan the same draft. Remember, they took McMillan and Baker one after the other.
Yeah, and McMillan unfortunately tore his ACL on his very first fucking snap on special teams. And that pissed me off even fucking more. But then after that, he didn't do shit for us. He was gone.
No, he's bad. They kicked him out, but kept Baker.
Yeah, and it's truly frustrating when it's like, if you know you can't fucking do it, just stop trying. Stick to what you're fucking good at.
It's like Belichick should stop drafting wide receivers and only sign them on free agents.
Yeah.
Right. Even if Belichick can't draft certain positions too. I'm sorry, Bleezy.
Oh, go ahead, bro.
No, I'm just saying that not everyone's going to hit on every single pick. I mean, but I got to believe over like what I've seen Greer do over the last 3 years. I got faith in the guy. He doesn't cave. He doesn't give in. The contracts that we've done, how they cleaned up the cap and have kept the cap fairly reasonable so that we can get out of contracts on guys if we don't want to stick with them. To me, that you got to look at the overall picture of what he's done.
Yeah, you do have to look at the overall picture.
Yeah, and I do. It's just those, like I repeat, it's just those glaring holes that you're like, dude, can you just clean this shit up for us? And that would be fucking great. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
Imagine again if you just said, instead of spending all this fucking money on shit like we did last year, bringing in Cedric Wilson, the dude fucking, bro, he had snaps taken away from him by Sherfield and fucking Craycraft. And we even had Braylon Sanders in there once we traded for him. Bro, it's like...
That's true. That's true. Everybody was saying that they got him before Tyreek, but what you're saying is even a bigger negative, the fact that those guys took snaps away from Cedric Wilson when we were already, force feeding Waddle and Hill, and when you get a guy like Sherfield and Craycraft getting more playing time and making more plays than Cedric Wilson, that's a problem.
Yeah, and especially when you pay the guy $6 million fucking dollars.
Yeah,
and it comes into, again, how many times has it been, and it's almost that it frustrates me now, because it's almost like the roles are reversed of, you remember we always had fucking great slot wide receivers, Bess, Hogan, the whole 9 yards, right? We always had great, but now that we got fucking a number one and a solid number 1 and 2, we can't fucking find a slot guy to save our fucking lives.
I think Barrios is going to be
Barrios. Yeah, we got
great role. I really
should
do.
be the man.
I mean, yeah, it's
All day.
that's. I would hope so, but again, then you know,
think Barrios is going to handle punt return now,
he might.
Or A-Chain.
or A-Chain.
Yeah.
Do you
See, but I don't know about the A-Chain thing, because again, are you really going to do that? What if that guy gets injured and then your other 2 main backs and Jeff Wilson Jr. and fucking Mostert are fucking injury prone?
A&M had A-Chain returning kickoffs in college.
I'm going to say what a lot of head coaches say: you can't play scared.
Well, man, do you want A-Chain returning kicks? I don't know if I do. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
Mostert can return the kick.
Because he's smaller, I probably agree with you because he's only 180 pounds. We put some more weight on, maybe. How about Chosen returning kicks?
Chosen, there you go. I like that.
I mean, maybe, but we also missed the fact, and this is something I brought up last night when I was, talking to Amicus. I think it's a lot different now. I mean, with so many fucking touchbacks and shit. I mean, how many opportunities did these guys really have anyway? Now, if we're going to talk about, again, now Chosen or A-Chain or whatever as a punt returner, I could definitely see that. But, man, with all these all these touchbacks and shit, I'm not putting nobody out there to get fucking hurt on a kickoff. It's just not fucking worth it.
Mostert at a kick return and Barrios punt return.
I'd let Ahmed. Ahmed's got some twitch to him. I'd let Ahmed run back kicks.
Okay. Yeah, I'm cool with Ahmed at kick.
Yeah, I'd be. But
I think
again,
maybe he could be about to get cut, but probably not. We'll probably keep him over Gaskin.
Well, yeah. Well, that's because we can always put him on the practice squad if need be. Versus Gaskin being such a vet. Yeah, I don't see. I mean, they could put Gaskin on the practice squad because they give you that 3 or 5 guys that are allowed to be vets. Right. But are you going to waste that fucking spot for Gaskin? I don't think so.
And the fact that they brought Ahmed with them and have stayed with him, they like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where, again, and people were saying, oh, well, now we're going to get Dalvin Cook too. Bro, if you had Dalvin Cook, what was the point of fucking paying Mostert and fucking Jeff Wilson Jr.?
Well, they didn't pay him much, CT. I mean, they're only getting $1 million or $2 million a year.
Yeah, and I understand that. But say you got to pay Dalvin Cook $6 million. Bro, why are you paying these guys $3 million? Then you just drafted a new rookie. You get what I'm saying? Like,
because things happen that you don't foresee. I mean,
well, I can understand that, but again, you're gonna keep Ahmed as the 5th guy on the practice squad? You're not gonna keep a 6th guy on the practice squad like Gaskin. No, you're gonna cut him. You're gonna have fucking 5 running backs and 4 on the roster and 1 on the practice squad.
They cut Gaskin. They have no cap casualty. There's no money. He has nothing guaranteed.
Who's that?
Gaskin.
Yeah. I know. That's what I'm saying. He's the odd man out. That's the whole point of this is unfortunately for Gaskin, he's the odd man out unless something terrible happens.
But that's my point about Gaskin. He had enough foresight where he knows if he can upgrade the position, he's not stuck with Gaskin's money.
Yeah. And I understand that. That's what and I appreciate that. That's what I'm saying is there are some things that he does intelligently, and then here we are still stuck with fucking Eichenberg and fucking Austin Jackson.
Hey, did you see what's his name? Jethro Pugh wants to come to the Dolphins.
Who?
Pugh. I think it's Jethro.
Jethro Pugh?
Yeah, from the Cardinals.
Never heard of him.
He's been a guard and tackle for like 10 years.
Okay, bring them on. Guard or tackle? Yeah, you come on down.
Yeah, and I mean there were a couple of them. I mean, fuck, there's even centers available. Like I said earlier, I brought up, Evans and Miles Jack and linebacker. I mean, there's centers available. Again, they're not fucking all pros.
You don't need all pros.
I don't need all pros. I just need somebody who can fucking do the goddamn job.
Yep. I agree 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. And the only thing that I will say, and again, it bothers everybody else other than them because we're not there, the fact that they are trying to give Jackson and Eichenberg their shot. Last year was Jackson's third year and Eichenberg's second, and both of them got injured, so they really didn't get a chance to show what they can do. Not that I'm saying they can do anything. I'm not saying that, but in their defense, these guys, especially Jackson, still growing into his adult body, so to speak, his football body.
Young.
He donated bone marrow or whatever before he came.
Yeah,
so it might have taken him an extra year, whatever. An offensive lineman, you look at Billy Turner. We had him for 3 years and cut him. He spent 10 years in Green Bay. Yeah. I mean, sometimes the offensive line with the nuances and who you're playing with and next to make a big difference.
But that's part of it. But here's where I think the actual problem has always been coaching.
Yeah, I agree.
And because again, these guys fucking come here and they play like shit because we have shitty coaches. Then they go somewhere else with a good coach with maybe better players or better coaching, better management, and they succeed. I mean, bro, we had fucking Jermaine Illuminor.
We got a new O-line coach. How about our new O-line coach? What do y'all know about him?
He's an older guy, which again I think would be helpful. Even Mike McDaniel said, "Look, I had Frank Smith helping fucking the young guy, the new guy from last year that we fired, and he was like, yeah, but Frank Smith had to spend way too much time trying to fucking help him and not enough time helping me, and so." At least he was able to admit that.
Our new O-line coach, Ron.
What'd you say? I didn't hear you. Please.
He was saying, "What do you think about the new O-line coach?"
I've heard good and bad. From what they're saying, when he took over, all of the metrics went up for the Broncos line as far as their win rates. Even though they didn't like him, supposedly, he didn't know how to communicate with him. Supposedly he was good with the Hurricanes. I don't know. I guess, the jury's out. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
He can't be worse than what we had.
Ain't that the damn truth?
No
yeah.
doubt,
And this is a good point by G-Man, though, again, and this is something that I've been preaching forever is, great offensive lines are you need a great offensive line to be a great team. And I agree. And we don't have that. And it gets frustrating that you don't need all pros. I don't need all of this bullshit. I just need guys that can do the fucking job and can gel together. And it really comes down to, it's building. It's just that old school mentality of building the trenches first. Yep. It's like, if you can plop in the talent and, just plug and play here and here, as long as your lines are good, man, it's much easier.
You don't have to have great skilled players if you have a great line. Exactly.
And that's where I think that I was really kind of frustrated, like I said, with the A-Chain thing. After talking about it more with guys, I was a little bit happier, but I was like, bro, Simmons from fucking Clemson was there at inside linebacker. We had the opportunity to go that way. And here we are taking another running back. But like I said earlier in the show, doesn't mean shit if you don't have fucking O-line.
Haney was available too, the other linebacker.
Yeah. And so it's like, bro,
I like the way this kid runs, though. If you watch him, his vision, he's very patient, and he once he sees the hole, he's gone. But
he's gone,
and he'll look for the hole, even if the hole's not where it's supposed to be. He'll find a crease and take off, and that's what I like about him. Because if your offensive line isn't great, a running back like him can help.
You know who he kind of reminds me of, Ron? I think you might appreciate this. He reminds me of maybe a little bit faster version of Thurman Thomas.
That's great praise right there.
What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
You know who my comparable was when I saw the kid? Was Darren Sproles.
Sproles?
Yep.
Okay.
Because Sproles would accelerate through a hole. He'd pop out of the line. He wasn't afraid to take it inside, and he'd pop out.
That's a good comparison. I got you.
He was great at running kicks. He was great coming out of the backfield. If he could be,
I think he's got a little. Yeah, Sproles had power. I was about to say I think he's got a little more power, but Sproles had power.
Yeah, no, Sproles would not go down easy, and Sproles is great catching the ball out of the backfield too. I mean,
that's a good comparison.
See, and this is where I understand what you're saying, G-Man, but I think that taking him in the 3rd round. Just like last year when we drafted Izu Common, we were promised he was going to be a big part of the fucking, team, and he didn't. I don't see them necessarily holding him back. I think that they're going to try to use him as a 3rd down back, a faster guy, help us on fucking short routes and shit like that. Where you get what I'm saying? Whereas Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr. are going to do most of the real running. You know what I mean?
When I saw he ran a 4.3, right away I'm like, Mike McDaniel's going to love this guy. I thought right away that, can you imagine Mike McDaniel putting this guy in the backfield with what we have out wide and how much speed he's going to generate, who are you going to concentrate on, man?
Or again, what happens if you fucking, like they did with A-Chain, bro, go watch his fucking highlights. They flexed that motherfucker out into the slot. And, dude, it's over. It's done. Now you're talking about fucking Waddle and Hill. What happens when you fucking flex him out of the backfield into the slot?
Yeah, put Chosen on the end, too. You got 3 guys going out deep, and you got him coming out of the slot and wide open middle of the field.
Yeah, man. I would love that. That would be fucking awesome. I'd be super excited to see that. But that's where I'm saying is I think that, with them trying to not really overextend Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr., I see them kind of doing more of the heavy lifting and the running and allowing, him to fucking play outside or, maybe get an outside zone run going and see if he can hit the edge. But I don't see them like you're saying. And I agree, G-Man, that's where I'm saying is I don't see them trying to run him in between the tackles. I think they're going to use him for his specific skill set, run outside, see if you can get the edge, flex you out into the slot, use you as a mismatch, that kind of bullshit,
Run some screenplays, man. They don't run screens enough. You run some screens to this kid, put a couple of guys in front of him. Not only, and the fact that he's smaller, and this is going to sound funny, but he's going to be tough to find coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, but I agree. You don't want this dude at his size getting fucking nailed by 350 fucking pound guys repeatedly.
Of course not.
Ask him to do what he does well. Find ways of getting him open. And that's kind of where I'm at with that. You know what I mean? Like, use him to his strength, let him fucking build up, let him get bigger. Because again, I don't even think that this guy, even in a year and a half, say he fucking gains another, 15, 20 pounds, that's great. He'll be 200. But even then at 200, he's still going to fucking take a beating. But again, if you limit the times you're trying to run him in between the holes and get his fucking block knocked off, longevity is key.
Right. You watch his highlights, he bounces off. He's got great balance. He does not go down as easy as you would think for a guy his size.
Yeah. But we're also talking about playing in college, and
obviously
now you're coming to play the NFL. It's a whole different fucking ball game.
And
These D
hopefully-
linemen are no fucking joke in the in the
Well,
NFL.
I was about to say, hopefully McDaniel will manage him properly and get him in open space and stuff like that.
Here's another thing, and I'm not saying I agree with it, but I think a lot of their philosophy with the offensive line has to do with the speed that we have, making the defense play off the ball and not being
spread out.
And not being able to come after us. I think that's part of their philosophy where we might be. They think that we're okay with this O-line. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I think that that's part of their reasoning as
That's
to
what they're thinking. Okay.
Well, you remember I made that argument last year, Ron, where I was saying, why is it that when we go 5 wide or 4 wide and fucking have one running back in the backfield, do we not get fucking pressured as much? Oh, wait, because you fucking spread them out. And the thing is Tua was fucking making great decisions in them 4 and 5 wide sets, and then it just disappears. It's just like the fucking run game, bro.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing. Yeah.
It just fucking disappears. It's like, bro, this is working. We're gonna stop doing that.
Come
on.
The thing about that is, Ron, it's like you said, it seems like that's their philosophy, and it does seem like that. But I think you said it earlier. It comes down to it. They play tight on the line. It's in the trenches. The play is in the trenches.
Yeah, and the thing is with Mike McDaniel,
if they can get to the quarterback in 1.5 seconds, it doesn't matter how spread out we are.
Yeah, exactly. But it also comes down to, though, you much of your scheme is predicated on fucking running the ball, which again he admits that he got away from, and he's not going to make that mistake again, and blah 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 blah. But again, if that's the case, do you really believe that this O-line is going to get it done in the running game? I don't believe so.
Listen, hey, CT, the end of the year, they were running the ball at will. The problem was when he stopped, he had like PTSD about Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds couldn't do it when they needed it short yardage earlier in the season. And unfortunately, I think that carried over with McDaniel, even with Wilson and Mostert being successful carrying the ball.
I agree. I made this argument is every time we stopped fucking running the ball was because, all right, we ran a few good plays, got chunk yards. It was great. Then they fucking loaded up against the run on first down. We get a run for no gain or maybe 1 yard. And then we'll pass the ball and get the first down. And then the next first down, he'll fucking try to run it again. And then guess what? This time it's either no gain or we get a loss. And he goes, fuck it. I'm not going to run the ball anymore.
Yep. And you got to stick with it, man. These guys were ripping off 12, 15. I mean, this was really the best I've seen our running game. Even though we didn't run it enough, they were more productive than any running game I've seen since Jay Ajayi.
Yeah, we just didn't stick with it because he would get frustrated at a no gainer, a short loss, and he'd fucking abandon it.
Yep. And listen, when you got toys like Tyreek Hill and Waddle and Tua playing at an elite level, you know sometimes it's like going to the candy stores, what Jimmy used to call it with Marino. You can't keep going to the candy store all the time.
Yeah, and it's also on top of that, you got to keep the fucking defense guessing, and the only way to fucking do that is actually stick with the run and then allow your fucking. It's like that was the thing that frustrated me is we ran the ball early in games, right? Yep. But then we abandoned the fucking run in the third and fourth when the bitch is supposed to start paying dividends.
Exactly, when you're supposed to be able to wear them down and control the clock and not have to give the ball back after three plays and out. You extend plays, you keep their defense on the field, you control the clock, and you don't have last minute comebacks.
I agree. What's going on, Canes? Amicus. Man, it's. I'll just leave it at that. You control all you'd like, brother. Just being upset that they didn't draft another quarterback so that Josh Allen can finally retire in the sunset. I know. And Him and Amicus want to run off together after his girlfriend left him. But yeah, it gets so infuriating that we as fans go, if I can see the fucking problems,
Exactly.
how can our fucking offensive coordinator and Mike McDaniel not see the fucking problem?
I think I must say that every week at one point or another during the game.
Yeah. It's like it's the same shit with Adam Gase and all the fucking bubble screens and all the and it's like, bro, we've watched this shit so much because we watch every fucking play. We know this team better than fucking other defensive coordinators, and you motherfuckers just cannot figure it out. We're the fucking ones that are supposed to be fans.
Yep.
But how are we calling you out for doing a shitty job?
Well, because we want perfection as fans. I mean,
oh yeah, I get it, but the point I'm making is if I can fucking see the problem, you should be able to see the fucking problem.
No doubt.
I shouldn't have to tell you what the fucking problem is.
No doubt.
So that's where I get irritated. And one of the other things I want to talk about, and G-Man did bring it up earlier, is Mike McDaniel. And, I feel like at this point, there's no excuses for Mike McDaniel. And Amicus and I have talked about, Tua versus Josh Allen. Now, again, there are no excuses. You guys got weapons. You guys got a defense. Whether it all comes together, we'll see or not. But there's no excuses. And it's the same thing with Mike McDaniel of, yeah, you did good for your rookie year. You made some fucking blunders and fucking time management and getting away from the run game, being predictable. You run fucking Tyreek on a go route. You got fucking Waddle on the post, and you got Cedric Wilson, Sherfield, or whoever it is that you have in the slot, run the crosser underneath. It's like, bro, if I could fucking pick up this shit, I know defensive coordinators are. You know what I mean? And this is where I hope that Vic Fangio coming in, he can say, hey, I can handle my fucking side of the ball. You handle your side of the ball. If you got any head coaching questions or anything you need help with, let me know, because he has that experience. And so for me, we should see an improvement in the clock management. I got to see some market improvement there. And here's why. Why. We got fucking our hopes up for Adam Gates' bitch ass too. And he fucking got us to the playoffs. We were one and fucking done. And then he sucked dick the next 2 years because the NFL's defense has figured out what he was trying to do, and they shut his ass down. And so for me, Mike McDaniel, again, yeah, absolutely. It's, we've played sloppy with penalties, like G-Man brought up. We have the issue with play calling and being balanced and getting away from all these things that we've talked about. And it's like, I got to see this shit fucking be markedly better, because I'm not getting pulled down into this false fucking narrative or this false hope of fucking Adam Gase all over again. Because again, that Chargers game and that San Fran game showed, all right, defenses know, okay, you want to fucking do the crosser across the middle, the post across the middle, and the streak. And guess what? They dropped all their fucking linebackers 15 yards downfield, and they were waiting for that fucking concept over and over and over again.
And I'll tell you what, that's where some of these issues is where I hope Fangio steps in. Like, I don't know if you guys, I watched these games over and over again. I watched that Ravens game a couple times, and we came back, and we won the game. He had terrible clock management at the end of that game. He let that clock run down and run down. He should have called timeout. Should have stayed. We were trying to score a touchdown to win the game, and it was almost like he was playing for the field goal. And we were lucky to score a touchdown. We only had 18 seconds left, and there were times he let 10, 15 seconds run off the clock when there was no reason for it. We had 2 timeouts. So that's open. Fangio was hey, Mike.
I hadn't gone back and watched the end of that game that much, I guess, because we won that game. But, Ron, you're spot on.
Yeah, it's the same thing that, remember, Ron, when you and I talked about it on the other platform, was you also bring up the fucking game where there's 2 games. There were 3 games in a row where we had mismanagement at the end of the first half. The first time, he was lucky enough to get the touchdown anyway, right?
Yep.
Then the second time, we fucking got down there and we got to like the 12 and the clock fucking ran out. Why? Because we threw a fucking like 20-yard pass and we caught the ball. And instead of calling a timeout, they run all the way up to the fucking line and fucking waste 25 seconds signaling and whatever. And then the fucking clock runs out and they got to fucking take a timeout anyway. And you're like, bro, you should have just taken the fucking timeout.
Yeah,
It's like you ended up taking the timeout anyway.
Hopefully, like I said, Fangio will help in those instances. And McDaniel himself, you know, he says he knows where he made some mistakes. He's focused on getting better. And you know, the fact that he acknowledged certain things like the running game and clock management makes me feel better that he knows where he needs to improve.
Well, no, I mean, you know, it's something that it tells me that he didn't have experience doing it before, is what it tells me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so the clock, it's almost like he wasn't ready for certain situations. Ron, I go back to the very first Jets game at about the 8 or 9 minute mark. We're down 14 points with the ball. And I'm like, all right, guys, we're still in this. Let's go. And when we're sitting out there, our guys got our fucking hands on the hips and we fucking run a couple plays and we're standing around, the clock's ticking. I'm like, what are we doing? We're not going to win this game.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing of, you know, the third time, though, again, in that same mismanagement 3 games in a row is we literally had the opportunity to score a touchdown. We ran the ball twice, got stopped both times. We let the fucking clock run. And then we took a fucking timeout with like 14 seconds left. And we fucking threw the ball one more time, and then we had to fucking settle to kick the field goal. And it's like, bro, what the fuck are we doing? Like, if that was the case, why didn't you just run the fucking ball again, take the fucking timeout, and kick the fucking field goal? Why would you fucking waste it? It made no fucking sense.
Right. I agree.
And that comes back to him being an inexperienced coach, which comes back to being bad timing when we have a damn near super team trying to make a Super Bowl run, and then we bring in an inexperienced coach who doesn't know how to manage a game.
Hey,
how about that for a recipe?
Let me ask you guys a question real quick. Do you think that it's going to take some time for this defense to show out that in other words, with the game and everything?
I think our defense is going to be dominant from day one.
I hope so.
Honestly, I do. I think our defense is going to be dogs. I think we're going to, in a good way. I mean, I think we're going to dominate.
Yeah, and I agree with G-Man in both of his points. You know, I agree. I don't like that he's super buddy, but from what I understand and what's been conveyed is the players know and he knows. Look, when it comes to fucking business, it's no fucking joking around, no whatever. Because they had asked multiple players about that. You know, what is it like when, you know, he's joking with you? And they're like, yeah, bro, when it's time for business, yeah, the joking side of Mike McDaniel goes the fuck away. But I do agree that we will know by the end of this season if he's the answer or not. Because, like I said with Gase, can you adjust? You know that they know what you're going to do, so are you going to be able to fucking mind fuck them into where they think they know what you're going to do, but they really don't? And I think this is Mr. Harvard or whatever the hell he's from to fucking show us.
You gotta love though when he told what's his name, Justin Fields, can you just stop it, man?
Yeah, and I mean, but I think that's part of his personality, and I agree with you, G-Man. I mean, yeah, he always is, and that's just kind of his personality, which is fine as long as the other part of that is true. Is if, like they say, if he's no fucking nonsense when it comes to football, then that's a different story. I'm good with that. You know, you got to fucking have. Oh, shit. Oh man. Oh shit. You gotta love Amicus.
He's in that fire.
Yep. But again, you know, it comes down to, you know, can he improve? Can he make the adjustments? Can he improve time management? Can he show us that he can learn and adapt?
Some big improvements.
Yeah, he needs to learn and adapt.
I agree, but I will say this: the fact that players want to come play for us,
they like him.
Gives me a lot of faith in him.
Great point.
Well, and I could agree with that, but how much of that is also, is it strictly because of Mike McDaniel's personality, or is it that they see an opportunity with a well-built team that they want to come fucking play for us too? Or is it, you know, I mean, it could be a combination, but
I think they think he's a good coach. The players do. The players think he's a good coach because I think he is a good coach, but there's a difference between being a good, you know, offensive game coach and being a head coach.
But look at the staff he built, though. I mean, you got other coaches, you know, experienced, knowledgeable coaches coming to coach under him on his staff. So that gives, again, that tells you something.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's what it comes back to Fangio. That it comes back to is Fangio going to be our savior?
Well, I think it's. I think I like the combination though. If you think about it, so you got fucking Vic Fangio, who's a no nonsense prick, according to a lot of people. A lot of his players say he's an ass, but he's a smart fucking good coach. Yep. But then you have Mike McDaniel, that's more of the players' coach. You get what I'm saying? So I think that gives it some duality, and especially again with the experience. I mean, I think it's a good thing. When you look at Flo, I agree with your point, Ron, is when you looked at Flo and all the bullshit the guys he was bringing in and whatever, like to see a young coach coming in, bringing experienced guys in, them being willing. I mean, fuck, Vic Fangio even said, you know, and not that I ever believe, you know, 100% true, but he said he doesn't want to fucking coach for, you know, 10 more years. So again, how much of that is true? Whatever. If Mike McDaniel doesn't work out, he thinks he's going to get first crack at head coach. That's fine and dandy. I hear all those narratives, right? But it doesn't change the fact that Mike McDaniel is still bringing in Frank Smith and other fucking, you know.
Bevel, man. And that's one of the most unsung coach signings in the league. Carol Bevel was a head coach, and he's the quarterback's coach for us under him. And he had to have a lot to do with his improvement, I would think. And the fact that, you know, a guy like him with his experience in the league, again, coming to coach under McDaniel gives me faith that these guys believe in him.
Yeah. And I get it from G-Man's perspective too. I mean, I know that you can't be a hard ass all the time. I mean, a la fucking Brady and fucking Belichick. Like, eventually players get tired of that bullshit. And it's I think it's a catch-22. You know, you have to try to have that balance, especially with the new era players, which I don't necessarily agree with them, but I've said this shit. They're soft. Is, you know, you know, yeah, there are a lot of players who don't like getting yelled at and whatever. It's like, no, if you want to say that you have no problem with taking accountability for your actions, then you shouldn't mind getting yelled at or someone fucking, you know, yelling at you that you fucked up. That's just them holding you accountable. Now, again, if the guy's just a straight up asshole, like supposedly Flores was to Tua, and, you know, calling him fucking names and shit and whatever, I think that's where you come from, that Belichick tree of you think you could treat people however the fuck you want, and players don't like that shit.
If he didn't have 7 Super Bowls, you wouldn't have players listen to him, because you look at all his coaching trees and all the guys that tried to coach like him, none of them were successful. They didn't have the the proof of the pudding with 7 Super Bowls.
Bro, G-Man, if you've watched any fucking of these interviews with these guys that have signed with the fucking Patriots and even won Super Bowls with them, flat out said, Belichick was a fucking asshole. And the Patriot way and blah, 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 man, you can't joke, you can't have fun, it's all about business, blah, blah, blah. I mean, again, it's fucking, you can't be both ways. And now, again, you want to make the argument that it has to do with Belichick? No, it don't have shit to do with fucking Belichick. It had everything to do with Tom Brady. No matter how much I hate fucking Tom Brady is what made Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick has no fucking quarterback, and the fucking team sucks. Period.
Well, we've got a new offensive line coach. I mean, that's really a big focus and a key. Do we have any other new coaches like offensive coordinators
No. No. We don't have any new.
I think we might have got
I think we have a new linebackers coach, isn't it?
defensive coordinator. We got Ronaldo Hill.
The linebacker.
I mean, I consider Vic Fangio the head coach of the defense, and Ronaldo Hill's
right.
Defensive coordinator.
Well, yeah. But I was saying, as far as like position coach, we have didn't we get a new linebackers coach?
I think so.
Yeah.
He did bring in some coaches, Fangio.
Yeah, Fangio brought in his own guys. But as far as offense, the only coach we fired was the O-line coach.
All right.
So, yeah, man. I mean, it's exciting. Looking forward to the year ahead. I mean, we've got so many fucking weapons. I mean, is Mike McDaniel going to be able to craft up some more fucking, more ways to get guys open? What is the scheme going to be like? Vic Fangio's coming in. What is his defense going to look like? What is his scheme going to be? We already know he says, I'm not going to blitz because I have to. I'm going to blitz because I want to. And so, we can see his change in that inverted 5-2. He loves that 5-2. And it's the, what are we going to see? And Ron brought it up. I don't see us coming right off the top. I don't see us coming out the fucking gate. Even with Flores, Flores in our first year, it took us a good 6-7 games before we got on track. Bro, you remember getting fucking blown out with Flores' first year. Now, granted, part of, obviously players had to do with it too, but the scheme. And, it's I'm excited to see what Vic Fangio is going to bring. I think that
we're at 9 wins with Vegas, 9 total.
No, you're like fucking Amicus. I don't want to hear this bullshit about bets and all that bullshit.
Last year we were at 8 and it went up to 8.5. So
right now, when Amicus said that the Heat were going to lose because Vegas said so.
Well, here's what I love what Fangio said. Somebody asked about Aaron Rodgers coming to the Jets. You know what he said? He said even Aaron Rodgers still needs time to throw and receivers to be open, and he's not going to have either one.
Damn. There you go.
Yeah, I agree.
Talk to him, Vic.
It's like when I said earlier, I'm not concerned about Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have very many weapons up there. Now, his defense is his greatest weapon.
When they were talking about, I wonder if we're going to get Fangio or not, I was like, why the hell would Fangio not want to come here? We're effing loaded on defense.
That's right. This roster is just – look at our front seven, man.
Yeah, man.
And they're all young guys. They're all talented. They're young.
Oh, yes.
They get after it. I mean,
crazy.
This is the best roster I've seen.
You're stacked. And we just added a new corner, which we needed. I mean, we are loaded, man. We're ready to go on defense, and Fangio can play in 3-4, 4-3, and 4-2-5. Play whatever the hell you want to do. Because honestly, I think he's going to play them all. He's going to play them all. It doesn't matter what.
And he said during the year off that he's come up with different coverages that nobody's seen yet.
Yep. And that's what I loved, bro, when he had that fucking, oh my God. He was like, yeah, I sat around the house with my wife, drank some fucking coffee. And then he's like, yeah, and then I was scheming some shit up. And you're like, okay. I mean, bro, he admitted that he did very little work with Philadelphia. Most of that work was done in the off season and helping them, their film scouts and shit, finding certain things. But he said then he started working with them later on in the season. And then right there at the Super Bowl, he became a senior defensive assistant or whatever, because he was helping them prep for the fucking.
He was helping their offense.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He was helping their offense prepare for the other team's defense.
Last second, a consultant.
Yeah, he was being a consultant.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man. And it's like the dude was out there going, bro, I know defense, and this is how they're going to try to fuck you up. This is what you need to do. And it's like, bro, if this guy is out here looking at it from both sides of the fucking field all year long for a year while he's just been hanging out drinking fucking coffee.
Yeah.
That's fucking scary, dude. That's fucking scary.
So
when this guy even admits that he was watching every fucking game, he was like, oh, yeah. He's like, I watched almost every fucking game.
So I got to tell you, my favorite signing in this offseason is Van Ginkel. I think this kid, he makes plays whenever he's on the field. He just didn't get on the field enough. He had that appendix thing in the beginning of the year. I think this kid is going to go off this year in his defense. I really do. The kid, whenever he's on the field, he's around the ball making a play.
Yeah.
Who?
Van Ginkel.
Andrew Van Ginkel.
ABG. Yeah. He's a beast.
I mean, everybody's focusing on all the big name guys, and the offenses will probably game plan for the Phillipses and the Chubbs. Watch what Van Ginkel does under the radar.
That's another reason we need to get rid of Baker, man. We got ABG.
I mean, I've been saying this.
Spot on Baker, dude. I think we're about to deal Baker. I think you're on to something.
Because, I mean, think about it. Are you going to let Goodell or Goodall fucking Cameron Good and fucking Tyndall fucking sit on the fucking bench all year? I mean, bro, at some point you got to let the dudes fucking play, especially Tyndall, because he's the direct replacement you drafted to get rid of Baker.
I think you may be on to something about that Baker deal.
I was under the impression, and I thought that they might have some takers, that Agba was going to get traded when they got Chubb.
Agba, I kind of thought that too, Ron.
For $16 million, I would think that they
were paying him a lot. Are we not?
I think that there would be some takers that need an edge rusher. That he was pretty successful, 9 sacks 2 years in a row until he got hurt last year. But
he didn't do shit last year.
No, well, he got hurt.
He was injured, bro. He injured his back in like week 2.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and he was out the rest. Well, no, he tried to come back like 2 games later for like 2 plays, and then they shut him down for the rest of the season.
Right. But for the money they're paid, I would think that after getting Chubb and signing Malik Reed and having what we have, that they would try to move off of him. But I guess they want as many guys going after the quarterback as they can get.
I mean, Ogba's a fucking hell of a player when he's on, dude.
When he's healthy. Yeah, I
wanted to re-sign Ogba when it came down to it.
Yeah, but the thing is, we always knew that Ogba is more of a run-first D end anyway. But he still contributed in the pass rush, just not to the degree as others. But you don't need that when you got fucking Chubb on the other side.
I was about to say, but it was kind of strange how then we turned around and signed Chubb on the backside.
Yeah, but again, I think that's part of you're eliminating that role of fucking Baker anyway. And again, like I said earlier, if you go to you're gonna go to the fucking dime or the nickel. You're gonna put 5 or 6 fucking corner DBs on the field. I mean, bro, Baker's not out there. Forget it.
Right.
So, I mean, is Goodell Tyndall gonna play? Is Good gonna play? I mean, what the fuck are we doing here?
And let me ask you this question, guys. This has been something that's been going through my mind. Everybody's been bashing Wilkins for his contract because he hasn't gotten the sacks, but he wasn't asked to be a pass rusher. He was asked to take up double teams, stuff the run, and let the other guys go after the quarterback. Do you think in this scheme, as athletic as he is, that he will be able to get that pass rush when they ask him to go after the quarterback?
It just depends, because in reality, most likely now, again, we've moved him all around. We've played him at DN. We've played him at D tackle. We've used him a lot of different ways. But I would think if Ogba's healthy, how do you not go Ogba, Wilkins, Phillips, right?
Ron, Christian Wilkins can do whatever he wants to do against any fucking offensive line or offensive lineman. That guy's a beast.
I agree. That's my thinking too. I think that people are looking at the scheme.
Yeah, all this talk about dealing him, I'm like, what are you talking about? It never. I don't even listen to it because I know it's not going to happen. We're not getting rid of Christian Wilkins.
And he wasn't asked to go after the quarterback. I mean, his role.
He's asked to dominate the line.
Yep.
And that's where I think in this scheme he more fits in that DT role. Now, again, they're not going to ask him to play that consistently, but again, whether you run that 3-4 or the 4-3, because again, or the inverted 5-2, because Fangio fucking run all of the shit. The thing is if you're in 3-down linemen, how do you not go Ogba, Wilkins, Phillips, have it Chubb on the outside, AVG on the other, David Long Jr., and, your DBs. You're not going to take Baker out, or you're not going to take Chubb out and fucking put Baker. No, you're not going to fucking do that. No.
You're taking Seiler out there, though.
Yeah, but again, if you run that 4-3 and you got Seiler and Wilkins together, or again, you spell fucking Wilkins at the tack at DT with Seiler. I mean, the fact that we have so much talent and that D line room, it's insane.
Exactly.
Seiler and Wilkins are a force to be reckoned with, man.
They are. They really are. I mean,
big time. And then we have the edges. We got Chubb on one side and fucking Phillips on the other. Well, I thought that's where we were putting Chubb. The CT saying we're playing him at linebacker.
We've been playing him at DN and linebacker. That's where I was trying to say is it's almost like, okay, in certain packages, you're going to put Chubb and fucking Phillips out there at the same time. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And they've done it on the same side. They've done it. You get what I'm saying? They've put Phillips at D end, and then they had Chubb coming outside of Phillips. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, so, okay, if you're going to put him in that Baker-esque role, then why in the fuck is Baker here?
Why
are we still paying him $13 fucking million?
CT is on Baker's ass.
Well, we gave $8 million. We gave his $8 million a couple weeks ago. That's the problem.
Say that again.
We gave him his $8 million about a month ago. The guarantee.
Oh, yeah, and I understand. That's what I'm getting at. You got $8 million guaranteed, and then he's got a $5 million base salary. It's $13 million is what whatchamacallit is reported the other day. And whatever his name is on that show. But yeah, it's you can still try to trade him away, have them eat some of that fucking cap. No, are you going to get all 13 million back? Hell no. You're not. You may get that, 6 or 7 million back. But again, if you can go out and sign a guy like I brought up earlier, Miles Jack is available. So is Rashad Evans. And both of those guys are only going to get 4 or 5 million a year, but they fucking cover better than Jerome Baker does.
Well, how about sending Baker and Wilson to Minnesota for Cook?
I mean, but then you put yourself in the position again where you've already paid Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr. I get it. If you're going to keep Ahmed on the practice squad, I mean, it's doable. It's doable. But you're not gonna try to put your 3rd round pick on the practice squad. So it's Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr., Achane, and Dalvin Cook. So again, you're gonna put Ahmed on the practice squad, or hope he gets to the practice squad, and just flat out cut Myles Gaskin altogether.
Yeah, well, it doesn't cost you anything, though. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, again, it's the same thing with Tanner Connor and Mike Gesicki and Hunter Long, and it's like, dude, we drafted all these guys, they're not doing shit. Like, what are we doing here?
If you get rid of Wilson and Baker's money and Cook's money, he's going to take a hometown friendly contract. He's already said it. So
Ron, you're a Cook guy. You want Cook, don't you?
I want Cook. If I can get rid of Wilson and Baker for Cook, I think it's addition by subtraction as well.
I mean, I would agree.
And they need to listen. They cut Adam Thielen, so they could definitely use Cedric Wilson. Baker. Baker's a flow guy.
Taking out Wilson and putting in Cook.
Baker's a flow guy.
We're getting too many cooks in the kitchen.
No, and I look, G-Man, I wouldn't say Raekwon Davis is a bust. You just got to put him compared to what Christian Wilkins has become. No, he's nowhere near Christian Wilkins, but he's been solid for us. Now, he's also gotten injured a few times, which has sucked, but I don't think he's a bust. I just don't think he's a great player either. I think he's a serviceable DT. I think he's played well for us.
He's the guy that Flores pounded his fist when we grabbed him in the 2nd round.
Yeah. But again, he hasn't been fucking spectacular, but he hasn't been bad either. So, no, I agree. I mean, I just feel like if we're going to have that stacked of a running back room, that's fine. But why not if you're going to trade Baker and Cedric, why not go get a fucking proven offensive tackle or center?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking
the offensive lineman.
I'm just thinking Minnesota because of their needs and because of Flo and Baker and because of the fact that they want to get rid of Cook and he's been connected to Miami. That's the only reason why.
Yeah.
Because of all the connections.
I hear you. Yeah. I'd rather go after.
I can agree with that sentiment, G-Man. Yeah, for a 2nd round pick, he is a bust per se, but
Raekwon?
I don't think he's a terrible player. But just for the 2nd round pick, yeah, I think he underperformed our expectations.
Has he been managed properly?
I mean, if Christian Wilkins could become successful with all the bullshit and drama in this team, I mean he should have been able to as well.
Now, you would think Raekwon would have been really dominant.
From Wilkins every year. You haven't seen the same improvement from Davis every year.
Wilkins has been.
Yeah, Davis is more I'm gonna get choked up here. I'm not gonna make the stop, but I'm not gonna let him run into a wide open hole either.
Raekwon's got that high center of gravity. They get up underneath him.
He plays too tall. Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, his pad placement, which is when we really saw when Wilkins Wilkins can get his ass down, and that's why he's so fucking dominant.
And Tyler
low center of gravity.
And Raekwon, again, we had issues with him and his weight problems and whether he really wanted it or not. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess you could. Now you should think about it more.
He's so tall. He's almost too tall. He's too tall.
Yeah.
Raekwon. He's tall as fuck. He's like 6'9" or something, isn't he?
Are you guys surprised we didn't draft a defensive lineman for next year?
No, I am not. I'm not surprised at all.
That'll probably be our target.
Bro, we are absolutely paying Christian Wilkins.
But what about Siler? Are you going to pay them both?
And again,
I think we may have to let Siler go. Is what I'm thinking. Maybe.
I think, in all honesty, if that's the case, I would rather keep Christian and lose Seiler and try to find someone else to fill it. I just, bro, Christian Wilkins and his leadership on that fucking D line and him being the fucking heart and soul, bro, we already did it once to Laramie Tunsil, but I'll tell you this: no other team is stupid enough to give us the Laramie Tunsil trade again. So let's fucking be honest. And if you're not giving me a Laramie Tunsil type trade, I'm not trading him. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it had to be. Hey, but that was one of the reasons for our first or second pick this year. I wanted a D tackle. I said, hey, I'm cool with the D tackle as well. The best available D tackle, bring him on, because the Seiler possibly about to be let go. But we didn't go that route either.
Davis is the one that's gone, and they do keep him both.
And Davis.
Yeah, I mean, they may get rid of Raekwon. Yeah, Raekwon is absolutely going to be gone out of the three of them. But the thing is not paying Raekwon, does that still leave you enough money? Because, again, we're hoping that we have the ability to get out of X's contract next year. We can cut him 0 cap. Now, the problem is somebody going to be ready to step up? Is Cam Smith going to be ready? Whether it's Kohu, whoever. And again, Ramsey's contract is going to be, we can get out of his contract the year after that. So you got to bring in these two guys. Are you going to be able to, because again, if one of these guys don't pan out, you're going to have to pay a cornerback too. So you're going to fucking be able to pay Wilkins, Seiler, and fucking 2 cornerbacks?
No, Seiler will be gone, bro.
I mean, bro, we got to pay Javon Holland in a couple years too.
And Phillips.
And Waddle.
And Waddle.
Yeah.
Bro, it's going to be tough, bro. It's going to be fucking tough.
Wheel and deal. That's why, man, that fucking, this scares me right there. That's why you have to draft. That's why you have to draft and draft good. And all of a sudden, we don't have draft picks. And so that's, think about that for a second.
Yep. Next year, it sucks too. And then after the year after, we go back to normal. But
we have everything for a third. We just don't have a third next year.
That's it.
We have our first or second. I'm pretty sure we have our fourth.
Well, we don't have our first. We have a first we got from a trade. Our first this year was taken from us, along with our third. We just happened to get one through trade.
I don't think our, even though, damn, I shouldn't even go there. I was going to say, I don't think our quarterback situation is being handled properly. As far as bringing in Skyler last year and now Mike White, I thought we had something with Skyler for a second.
I agree with G-Man on that sense.
Did you, Ron?
I wasn't on the Skyler train. I was the one that kept saying, pump your brakes. He's a 7th-round pick. It's preseason. And then, once he got out on the field during the regular season, you saw now, granted, he did not get the help that he needed. He had a lot of drops. I'll say one thing: the game against Minnesota pissed me off. They had the first drive. They marched down the field. They kept getting in the red zone and kept getting. They must have got 8 penalties that kept moving them back on that first drive. And you put in a rookie already who's behind the 8 ball, and now you're giving him, even more shit that he's got to overcome.
Right.
So I don't think, it's fair to evaluate him. I think he's got promise, but I do like Mike White. I saw Mike White play. Mike White does have some talent, some intangibles.
Well, Mike White's going to be our QB2. There's no doubt about it. They're paying him QB2 money. Skyler is QB3 locked in. That's going to be the rotation. Believe it.
Yeah, and I'm good with that. I mean, Thompson still has a lot to learn. Again, the guy's got all the physical traits, bro. It's just, again, he makes dumb rookie mistakes, and it's processing things. And, I mean, he panics a little bit here and there, and you get to the point where, okay, you're just not ready.
I thought he played pretty good as a rookie, and to develop, I mean,
He
fuck,
did not get the
he
support he
can
deserved.
come out and ball out this year.
He did not get the support he deserved with so many drops.
I agree. Oh yeah,
I
if
agree with that
Waddle would
too,
have
but
caught
I'm
some of
saying
those,
that you can tell the difference between Tua and Skylar. You know, missing reads. You know, processing. You know, things a little bit slower. And again, he goes, "Oh, but I got a better arm, so I can still fit it in there." And in his first 2 starts, he found out real quick that that doesn't work in the NFL.
The confidence level is so much different between Tua and the other quarterbacks.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you're right.
but it's also their understanding, their processing. Again, you know, Skylar as a 7th round pick, he wasn't getting fucking starter reps. You know what I mean? It's not like during the year he was really getting that many fucking reps.
No,
Right.
No.
So it's like, again, then you expect him to come in the regular season and him to be on point. Bro, that's ridiculous to fucking assume. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
even if you give him 2 weeks of practice with the ones, it's still not time to develop a rhythm, get into fucking understanding how a fucking regular season NFL game is played. The dude's only played in the fucking preseason. Like, dude, it's a whole nother fucking ball game.
Oh yeah, it is, man.
I mean, give the guy a chance. You know, maybe one day again, if Tua doesn't work out and he can fucking continue to get better, great. Then it saves us from having to draft the guy. But at the same
I don't know
time,
very much about Mike White. Sorry, CT. I just don't know much about Mike White, but evidently he will be our QB too.
Don't forget, I'm up in Jersey. I was up in Jersey, so you know, I see all the Jet crap. So he did play well for the games that he had to play until he got hurt. You know, that offense is a mess anyway. So, you know, again, you can't put too much on him, but the kid played pretty good in the games I saw him. I think he has.
the dude has fucking moxie. You got to say that. I mean,
Okay.
the dude's a dog, bro. He had his fucking ribs broken.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you this. Do you think if they put Skylar on the practice squad this year, that someone would grab him?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no protections this year either.
Oh yeah. Somebody would grab him.
I just wonder if his stock went down after the way, you know, after between preseason and the regular season.
I would doubt it.
Yeah, I agree, G. I agree, G, man. Like I said, you know, I wanted to give Tua enough time to heal properly and then see what the dude's gotten again. If, you know, he gets injured again this year or he doesn't perform well, man, it's bye-bye, Felicia. I mean, it's
we don't have the team for a development quarterback. Although I guess you should always bring in a good quarterback. I mean, it's time to win now for this team, man.
Amicus says that Milano still has Mike White's ribs in his.
The thing about this team is it's built so it doesn't have to be quarterback centric. It's got the defense, got the running game. He just has to be
our defense is our strong suit.
He just have to get the ball in the hands of playmakers. That's it. You know, it doesn't take a lot to do that. You know, be a point guard. That's all. You know, McDaniel's been saying. Get the ball in the hands of the playmakers.
But when you bring in that second-rate quarterback, the offensive line has to step up even more. You know.
Yeah, and unfortunately, our line doesn't have more to step up to. That's the problem.
I think our coaching and our management is undervaluing the offensive line. I think they could throw out these guys and, like you were talking about, Ron, spread out the field and we'll be good. That ain't the way the shit works, man. These defensive linemen are going to come crashing in like fucking crazy, and they're going to be breaking ribs when they come in.
And what I don't get is Mike McDaniel was very instrumental in getting Trent Williams for the 49ers. So, and Trent Williams wasn't recognized as the best tackle in the league until he went to the 49ers. So he does, he does value the offensive line. You see it in moves like that. But I don't know why it doesn't seem the same with us.
Maybe it's Greer. It's Greer.
Yeah. I mean, I just like I said, I don't know if it's scouts or what, bro. Whether it's Greer overriding his own scouts and saying, fuck it, I want this guy. Like, I don't know. But when it comes to drafting O-linemen, bro, it's been atrocious. And even our evaluation of players that were already here. Bro, everybody seems to forget that fucking Jermaine Illuminor was fucking here. And then we cut his ass. And then he goes on to fucking be the number one fucking guard.
We kicked him out of the building.
And it happened with the other guy. The other guy we cut that year went on to fucking play at another team and was like a top 10 fucking whatever center or whatever he was. It was a center. Hey, what was his name?
The center?
Yeah, we cut Illuminor and then the center, and the center went on to play somewhere else and start and played fucking all year. And Illuminor fucking came out to be one of the fucking best guards in the fucking NFL.
I was about to say we hit on Teron Armstead and Connor Williams.
Yeah, but we traded for those guys. We didn't fucking draft them, and we didn't develop them either.
But we brought them out. I'm just saying
they were proven commodities. That's why.
Well, they're okay. Well, see, that's what we need to stick to then, because we can't fucking draft.
Exactly.
We need it, and plus, that's where you need a grown ass man is on the O line. You know, that's where you need a grown ass. That's what I'm saying. Even if we drafted a lineman this year, that's not going to help us on the O line. He'll get his ass kicked.
Yeah, and that's where I was pissed off that I wanted, and I agree. I'm going to leave that back up there. I double clicked it, but no, the thing is you don't have to have a superstar at every fucking position, but you want them to fucking be a top 7, top 5 O-line. You know what I mean? But again, you can do that without having a fucking superstar at every position, G-Man. And that's all we're trying to say is, no, we don't want just, a middle, 15 to 20 O-line. Hell no, that's not going to get it done, especially when McDaniel predicates so much on this running game and he says that he's going to fix getting away from the running game. So we'll see. Because again, it's like you say you want to run the ball. You say you understand that pass protection is an issue. And then in the first wave of free agency where there were guys to be had out there for good fucking prices and you had no interest in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, he didn't try to bring in nobody as far as a veteran tackle, but we went out and got other guys and did this and got another receiver and this and that. And it's like, okay, well, then that means you must be drafting one, right? And then we get to the fucking draft and you wait till the 7th round to draft one. It's like, obviously, you obviously Greer thinks
that's
that
almost
fucking
a slap in the face.
Yeah, it's like, bro, it's obviously you think that Eichenberg and Austin Jackson can still fucking get it done. And if you're that fucking stuck in your own fucking asshole, that's the bro, that we're set up for fucking disaster.
Yes, we are.
Well, the one thing about the line is that it's more important how they play together than individual players.
You're right.
So that's why, like you said, we don't need Pro Bowl players in every position, but we need them to gel together and play as a unit. And the more you run the ball, the better they get at it. The more cohesive.
Running. I got you. Well, see, Ron, it comes back to this new coach we got.
Yep.
And it's, it comes down to, are you going to be able to run the ball consistently? Are you going to stick to it? Are you going to be able to adapt in the passing game to what, coaches fucking figure out?
Sold the bill of goods was McDaniel is a run game specialist. He's a run game coordinator.
Yeah, not only that, but that he's a fucking genius. So if you're genius, then I shouldn't be able to predict you if I'm not a fucking genius.
We should be killing it with a run game.
Guys, in his defense, we went from 20-something to number 6 offense. So, I mean,
okay, well, that's good. That's good.
And that is great. But we also see the glaring holes of there are times where you didn't adapt, and it cost us games.
Agreed. no question. But again, as far as their philosophy, again, I think that they think that, their scheme can help. If they do run the ball, that's
sure
gonna help.
they do.
If they can run the ball consistently, that takes pressure off of everything and improves their entire outlook on offense, because you're not worried about guys coming after the quarterback. You're not worried. Linebackers have to hold their position because they have to respect the run. You're not putting 8 guys in the box. It opens up everything else. So I think that you're going to see us run the ball a lot more this year.
I sure hope so, because again, especially in San Fran and San Diego, or fucking whatever they are now, bro, it's you see the fucking linebackers dropping 15 yards into fucking coverage. Run the fucking ball.
Right.
Run the fucking ball. How fucking hard is this? Like, McFucking genius, you're a run game coordinator. They're fucking showing you exactly what you want to run into, and you don't fucking run the ball. It's fucking it's ridiculous. Some of the times you're fucking scratching your head going, what in the fuck are you doing? But you're the genius, and I'm just the stupid guy fucking watching on TV.
Yep. Hey, how frustrating was it when they opened up the game with that pass to Sherfield? You're like, all right, here we go. And then
oh yeah.
and then they shut us down.
Shit the bed.
Yeah, it's like it's just infuriating. On top of it is no matter what you do, you sit here and you look at it and go, all right, if I could figure this shit out, you should be able to figure it out. Now,
You think they're going to sign Cam Fleming?
I have no idea who that is.
They had him in before the draft, the right tackle.
Okay.
What position?
Right tackle.
You said tackle?
Right tackle. Cam Fleming.
Hey, yeah. Any tackle or guard, sign them. Bring them on.
They had him in before the draft. They were talking about possibly signing him. Brandon Shell out there. Brandon Shell, to me, played great last year.
Yeah, he did.
Where's he at?
And we found the fucking guy on the goddamn street.
And we keep Greg Little over him. And
Little Shell. Shell's playing for somebody else now, isn't he?
No, he hasn't signed for anybody yet.
What the fuck are we waiting on?
Man, I think that we just didn't have interest in bringing him back because fucking Chris Greer, this idiot he is, thinks that Austin Jackson is going to come back and be the fucking savior.
Yeah,
Greer ain't worried about the O-line.
But early in the offseason, he did say we're going to be bringing in competition for the offensive line. I know he said that. I heard him fucking say it.
I'm sure he did say it. I don't doubt that a bit.
I agree, but the thing is so you're bringing in undrafted guys, hoping they're not going to unseat your chosen one. And
he said it, but he didn't do shit about it.
Yeah, because in the offseason, you could have fucking signed some guys and you didn't. In the first round of, first wave of free agency, then you fucking wait till the 7th round to draft one and then sign a bunch of UDAs. It's like, well, that's bringing in fucking competition, all right. Yeah, that's fucking bringing in competition, all right, brother. That's what infuriates me. It's like you can't sit here and say you're bringing in competition, but you're bringing in fucking guys that didn't even get drafted, and he was your fucking first round pick. Yeah, that seems fair enough.
It was my mind for him to say we expect him to be the starter. What has he done to earn that?
Who?
He said
Austin Jackson. Greer said that he believes that he earned it.
What is he?
What has he done to earn it?
Nothing. Bro, the guy continues to fucking panic and hold, take false steps, fucking overcorrect, and then get beat inside. Dude, real quick, Bleezy.
I'm sorry.
No, you're cool. Let me finish real quick. The dude is fucking athletic enough to go out on a screen pass and get out there, but he's not intelligent enough to fucking block anybody on the way to the spot. He goes, look, coach, I made it to the spot you told me to run to. Yeah, but you missed fucking 4 blocks along the way.
A year and a half ago, Austin Jackson was playing left guard. Think about that.
Bro, he sucked the fucking guard and tackle. The dude is fucking atrocious at
Crazy.
fucking blocking, no matter
Crazy,
where the
man.
fuck you line him up at.
Year and a half ago, Austin Jackson was our left guard. Think about that, guys.
He was a tackle first.
Oh, at first
He was a tackle. We moved him to guard. First we had him playing at left tackle.
Yep.
Then we moved him to left guard. And then we tried to move him to right tackle because he sucked at the other two.
And we did the
moved
same
him
thing.
to left guard.
We did the same thing with Eichenberg. He was at right tackle, then left tackle, then left guard.
That's crazy. That's crazy as hell, man.
Yeah, bro. It's like, oh, this guy sucks here. Let me try him here. Oh, he sucks there. Let me try him here. And then 3 years have gone by, and you missed out on a bunch of free agents and shit that you could have signed to fucking solve the problem and stop fucking playing this stupid shit.
To try to put the square peg in a round hole, you know.
Yeah, man. It's like, bro, it's the same shit with Solomon Kinley and fucking Isaiah Zada with fucking Flo. And
I thought Kinley was decent, actually, and we kicked him out of the building. But
Kinley was terrible, and so was Ayazada. We drafted him in the 5th round with Flo, and that guy didn't do shit either. It's like, bro, you tried so many fucking times to draft guys, and none of the shit worked. Just fucking stop drafting them and sign them as free agents. Jesus fucking Christ.
Offensive line, yes. You go after the men's men. You know, you don't. That's where you get the veteran.
You go to the proven talent. You go to the proven talent. You know what they are.
That's right. Dieter sucked too. You're right.
Yep. Yeah. Dieter's another fucking one that we had at fucking guard, and that shit didn't work out. And then we're like, oh, let's try him at center. That shit didn't work out. He was a fucking backup. We tried to put him in starting, and he sucked that fucking bad that then we went back to him being a fucking 3rd string center because we brought in that other guy that was the backup center, and Dieter was the emergency one.
We had Cameron Toms.
Cameron Tom is the guy I was talking about. He was the backup center.
Greg Manko we had for a while, right? The guy from the Ravens we had that we couldn't snap the ball. Ted Karras.
Yeah, Ted Karras before that. Yep.
Yeah.
And all of that, again, all that musical chairs at center after fucking Pouncey. But even Pouncey, bro, when he injured his fucking hip, like the 2 years before he left, bro, it's like, dude, he was never the fucking same after the hip injury. So we got 2 good years out of him, and then it was fucking downhill from there.
Yeah, I miss Tim Ruddy.
Oh, yeah. And that's where, again, you know, this is why I was saying earlier, it goes across multiple GMs, multiple coaches, multiple scouting departments. Bro, the Dolphins just cannot fucking evaluate O-linemen. Just period. Period.
No, yeah, you're right. That's what it's. I mean, that's really what it's come down to. What's that, Ron?
I said you can't argue that. The proof is in the pudding. I mean, you got to look at the past history. They just can't.
And then the funny thing is, though, is the one time we experiment and not drafting and shit, and we go out and we buy an O-line, the fucking line of the unicorn line. Granted, we only got them 6 games because somebody was always injured. But the thing is you proved that the idea can fucking work.
Yep.
You get away from it.
They got the philosophy has to be you got to go out and get dogs. You got to get guys that are mean, that are nasty. You know, I mean, that's what we have with Incognito and
hell yeah.
Hey, you know? Like I said, when I glanced through all the because I kind of focused on the AFC East, and I'm sitting there looking at the Patriots draft in this offensive guard, tackle. I'm like, God, that's how you do it right there.
They had the best coach. They had the best offensive line coach for years, though, in Carter.
Yeah. That's how you do it, though, man. You do it through the draft, and it hurts us not having these 1st-round picks too a little bit.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I agree with you, G-Man. I've said this repeatedly. I've been throwing a fucking fit about the offensive line every fucking year for the last 5 years. It's you're not gonna win shit until you fix the O-line. It's not bro. You can sit here once you got a good O-line and you don't have a great running back. Well, guess what? The average running back will play above average behind your good O-line. And if you can find a way to get a good running back or a great running back, all of a sudden they're elite.
How do you not learn from Kansas City? Kansas City lost.
Exactly.
They lost the Super Bowl with the best quarterback in the league because their offensive line got hurt the game before then. They had 2 backup tackles, and they just got mauled. So what did they do? They went out. They got a fucking Creed Humphrey in the draft who I wanted. They went out, got tackles, and they rebuilt their offensive line and won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
How do you not learn from that?
Yep. Exactly. And it's like, but yet every fucking year, and this is where I think again, it's because even Greer, his experience and the way he does things is he thinks that he's fucking, Bill Belichick, and he thinks that he's just gonna find, all these great offensive linemen off the street, but yet you can't fucking draft one to save your fucking life.
Right. He's walking around like he's hot shit when in reality he's running a fucking shit show.
The one lineman that they got was a no-brainer. We got Robert Hunt, and everybody knew he was going to be a Pro Bowler once they drafted him.
Yeah, and it's the same thing though. Like when people go, "Oh, well, he chose Waddle." Bro, we chose Waddle at number 5. We knew he was going to be fucking great. So I don't give Greer credit. It's not like, it's like, bro, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not giving you shooting fish in a barrel. You get what I'm saying?
We should have got Kyle Pitts that year.
I would much rather have Waddle. Sorry.
Look, Waddle broke the record for catches for a rookie, and then last year he led the league in yards per reception. I
love Waddle. No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, and my thing is again, it's just frustrating. It's infuriating when we see the Dolphins. We talk about their problems every offseason. We fucking dog ourselves hoping that they're gonna fucking improve and find that, see their flaws and fix them. And it's like, it's the same fucking ones over and over and over again.
Yep.
Middle linebacker and O-line, middle linebacker and O-line, middle linebacker and O-line, linebacker and O-line,
in coaching.
Well, I'm talking about as far as not getting the players.
No, I got you.
It's like you just abandon these fucking rooms and go, all right, well, Baker's there. That's good enough. Oh, we got Robert Hunt and Connor Williams. Yeah, Trent, Armstead when he's not fucking injured. It's like, no, you need to invest more into this offensive line to fucking fix it. You can't just fucking, you can't polish a turd into a fucking piece of gold. You can't do it.
We're not investing in, I was about to say, we're not investing in the offensive line and in the draft, but we also just said that we think we need to go with seasoned vets in the O-line at the same time.
And that's again, it all comes down to you're willing to invest draft picks and miss on them, but you're not willing to spend money in the offseason or in free agency to just fix the shit and fucking be done with it.
You can find a guy in a trash heap like Brandon Shell played better than anybody you fucking drafted or anybody else you signed.
Exactly. And even Greg Little, I know you don't, bro, the first few games he played absolutely lights out. And yeah, the rest of the year, yeah, he was up and down. But again, he came in and played in those first 4 or 5 games, bro. He played phenomenal. And after that, then you put Eichenberg got healthy. Let me put him back in there. And then he fucking sucks some more. And what did they do? They put Greg Little back in the fucking game because Eichenberg fucking sucks.
I like Robert Jones. I like Jones at left guard.
Yeah.
Jones
yeah,
at guard was just as good. I called for Robert Jones, and Robert Jones played extremely well. And you remember on Batman's, I was fucking, me and him were fucking just screaming for the dude. We're like, bro, you can't let Eichenberg keep doing this and Little keep doing this. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You can't keep doing it. And then, oh, wait, Robert Jones and Scheller outperforming. It's like, that's fucking sad. That's fucking sad, Greer.
You know what, though? I don't care where they come from. The best players play. That's what they say that they do. So what? Let's see it on the field.
Yeah.
You know, I'm tired.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm tired of this. Well, you're a high round draft pick, so we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Fuck that. If an undrafted free agent is outplaying you, he fucking plays.
A la Robert Hunt.
Yep. And I agree. It's like, you know, when you sit here and you look back at how many fucking times we win the offseason. Oh, yeah, we're the offseason champion. We're the best team on paper. And then we shit the bed.
Yep.
And it's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. Well, last year, we did get slammed with injuries in the secondary. I mean, that did hurt us early in the season. But,
it's going to happen. Injuries.
Yeah, but to lose Ogba and Needham and Brandon Jones and Byron not coming back,
Brutal.
But that's part of fucking. But right there, just like G-Man is bringing up depth on the O-line, exactly. That's a huge concern. But again, also imagine, oh, wait, you knew that Byron wasn't going to come back. And you did nothing to fucking replace him. And then you lost Brandon Jones. There was no depth behind him. You had to bring in McKinley or whatever his name is and play Bethel back there at times. Yep. And it's like, okay, Nick Needham gets hurt. Oh, Kohu comes in. Great, awesome. But now X has got a fucking growing injury. Bro, we had no depth whatsoever. None. And that's where I'm glad that I feel like with Cam Smith, with Brandon Jones and Needham coming back, even if they're not 100% and it takes them a while to get back into things, bro, we still have Javon Holland. This fucking secondary is stacked now.
Absolutely. Kohu, Javon Holland, they got the, what's his name? The guy they signed from the Lions, who's supposed to be a big hitter too. That's
big hitter.
The safety dude. Yeah. I can't remember his name now.
It was Eugene something, I think.
Big hitter.
But
again, yeah. I mean, you're bringing Trill Williams back. That's right. It's this fucking DB room. Yeah, the DB room is stacked.
All around, even though our linebacker, it's kind of the weak link, I guess you would say.
Oh,
Other than that, we are stacked.
We're stacked on the secondary. We're stacked on the defensive line. We're stacked at running back. We're stacked at wide receiver.
Yes. We
can afford, God forbid, we don't want it to happen, but we can afford if a couple of guys get dinged up because we've got so much depth at in those areas.
Areas.
Like you said, linebacker and offensive line, that's where, attrition can hurt us.
Yes.
Which is why I was calling for drafting a fucking linebacker.
Yes. How can you be thin at O-line, Ron? Like, if we get dinged up at O-line, our whole team's fucked.
Oh, yeah, man. Just like G-Man said. I mean, imagine if Connor Williams or Hunt gets hurt. Yeah, we know Armstead's going to get hurt.
Yeah. He's never played a full season.
See, I agree. I mean, I would absolutely do that when it comes, closer to making cuts and shit. Hell yeah, if there's a piece from this fucking secondary that we feel we can get enough fucking value for, absolutely. I mean, bro, we all know that Needham was the fucking top-ranked slot corner 2 years ago.
Yep.
And again, yeah, he's coming off an injury, but once he comes back, he proves he can play in the preseason or in training camp and OTAs and whatever. bro, teams are going to come be interested. Now, is that going to be enough to get an experienced, established offensive lineman? I don't know, but maybe, a piece here and maybe a 4th or 5th round pick next year.
The Eagles got they lost some guys in their secondary, right? And they got a plethora of guys on their offensive line. I would be looking there.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I really don't want to fucking help the fucking Eagles out any more than they fucking are.
They're the NFC, though. We won't see them until the Super Bowl anyway.
Yeah, but I don't want to see our fucking player over there beating our ass. I mean, come on, let's be honest. I mean, but yeah, I mean, I'd be open to a trade again. Fuck, if like we said earlier, Cedric Wilson and somebody else. Yeah, I mean, we absolutely need to address O-line. I am not fucking satisfied with where we're at right now.
I think with what you were saying earlier about Baker and Cedric Wilson, we really don't need him either. He can go too. They should wrap them up and and bring in something.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if we could get a fucking, even if you get, say, like last year when Minnesota had those 2 good centers, guess what? The center they cut fucking went somewhere else and ended up starting by the end of the fucking season.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, maybe you can find one of those guys this year, coming to OTA, say they draft a young guy, the veteran that's behind him may lose his job. Why not fucking go get one of them? It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg either. But you got to fucking do something. We can't stay like this bullshit.
No.
I'm sorry, we can't.
I just can't believe that Greer and McDaniel don't see it or don't have something that they're planning on doing. I can't fathom it. You and I
God damn it! Every year we get stuck with the same bullshit.
They undervalue the offensive line. They undervalue it, obviously, and then that must come from the top, which starts at Greer. He undervalues the offensive line, and that's a bad recipe.
Yeah, I agree. I do. I think I agree with Ron's point is, they're hoping that we can get rid of the ball fast enough that it doesn't fucking matter.
Right. And you can't, when he only has a second and a half to throw the ball, it's not going to work.
They're probably looking at last year and going, well, Tua is one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the league. Well, he's got a quick release. We got the fastest receivers, so he was able to get rid of the ball quickly. But that doesn't help when we got to run the ball.
Exactly. That's the point I brought up earlier. Yeah, but that doesn't solve the problem of how are you going to fucking run the ball and sustain drives.
Well, that's why I thought we brought in McDaniel. I thought he was like a run guru.
Yeah, but when Austin Jackson is holding every goddamn play, or when Liam Eichenberg is tripping over fucking Connor Williams' feet and leaving the hole wide the fuck open on run at play after run play, bro, it was a fucking disaster. It was a prime example of how a shitty O-line can fuck up even the best fucking run coordinator, fucking run McGenius, because they couldn't fucking block to save their damn lives. And the worst part is with fucking Eichenberg is there was one time where he finally didn't fucking trip. And he got so fucking excited that he ran past the hole he was supposed to block in. And I'm like, are you fucking shitting me right now?
Eichenberg, man.
And that's another great point with G-Man. And we've said this too. Again, you hire these shitty-ass O-line coaches, and then you got to fire them and start over again.
You got a new one this year.
You draft guys to come in and play, and then you don't give them good coaching. So how do you expect them to get better?
Yeah. But again, guys like Robert Hunt have gotten better.
Robert Hunt's just a beast. He's like, line me up at guard and leave me alone. Okay.
No, and I get it, but what I'm saying is
play tackle.
there are some players that can fucking succeed in that. But the problem is again, you'll never fucking know the tweener guys if they never get coaching. There's always going to be players, and no matter what coaches are around, they're still going to fucking.
You talk about continuity. You need that at offensive line and coaching at offensive line.
Absolutely.
You would think McDaniel, being that type of whatever run guru, would have come in with a solid ass fucking offensive line coach, man. What the fuck's going on here?
Well, I think he knew he didn't have the talent on the offensive line, so he tried to do something innovative by building up their speed and trying to overcome the shortcomings of the offensive line in a different approach.
But why not just fix the goddamn offensive line? That's you're fucking making more hard on yourself other than just fixing the goddamn O-line.
Get the talent.
Oh, I got to create a whole new scheme. Oh, I got to get 5 guys. Bro, if you got to get 5 guys to fix the fucking O-line, you might as well get 3 guys to fix the O-line.
My fucking pick this year would be my first pick would have been a fucking offensive lineman.
You know, we had that guy Schmidt available, right? He's got 3 names. I forget. He was on the board when we drafted Cam Schmidt. He was center guard. What the fuck is his name?
Where was he out of?
Ohio State, maybe?
What was he, a tackle?
He was a center guard. 3 names. John
center guard? Yeah. Anybody.
I forget his John Michael Schmidt or Will.
Yeah. That's how you build. That's how you kind of build it. That's where when you talk about developing players, you want to develop offensive linemen. That's why the Patriots, that's been their philosophy for 20 years.
And I'll tell you one thing that I give McDaniel credit for. He has to recognize the fact that there's certain places along the offensive line that do need upper echelon talent. When he went out and got Connor Williams, he got him to play center. He didn't. When he was going after him, he said from the very beginning that they were going to move him to center because we need a cerebral center, and that was the reason why they targeted him. So he obviously knows and is well aware of the fact because Tua needs to step up in the pocket. He wasn't able to with any of the centers that we had before Williams. That pocket was collapsing right in his face every game. So if you notice, since we've gotten Connor, Tua's been able to step up anytime he needs to throw the ball. So he obviously knows the importance of that position. But I don't understand the downplaying or not focusing on the other aspects of it.
Yeah, like a fucking guard that allows the pocket to fucking collapse until it has nowhere to step up into.
Like a left guard and a right tackle. It's crazy, man.
Or get a fucking center, move Connor Williams back to guard, and find a fucking tackle that could play left or fucking right, and have a swing tackle a la, an enhanced Jesse Davis. And,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Now I was going to say, get a right tackle, get a swing tackle, and find a center. And again, you don't have to necessarily do all of it, but again, it's again, and G-Man brings up the great point is again, like I was going to say, we sit here and got Connor or Armstead for left tackle, and that's not even his fucking blind side. So it's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, right tackle should be the fucking number 1 priority.
I agree because when you have someone playing in between Williams and Armstead, I think they can help elevate whoever that's going to be. As far as right tackle, he's on an island. He's got to be, talented enough to hold his own. When you've got a premier pass rusher coming in. And we don't have that.
Or double team coming
real quick, G-Man. Jesse Davis absolutely sucked. I'm just saying the concept of somebody who's good but can play both sides in case someone gets injured. That's all. Jesse Davis sucked dick. I'm aware.
He got 2 of his ribs broke.
Oh, I'm aware. Ron, you know I've been I trashed Jesse Davis before that. I trashed Jesse Davis last offseason.
Yeah.
I've trashed Jesse Davis since fucking he started playing for us.
I think their hopes for left guard are having Armstead and Williams on either side of whoever's going to be there. And I think that they think they can help elevate, which I can understand that a little bit. But it's the right tackle spot that he's not going to get that help. And he's going to be out there by himself. And I don't know why they think that Austin Jackson is the answer.
Yeah,
Right.
I would love fucking Robert Jones to be allowed to stay there at left guard. Let's see if he develops this offseason. If he doesn't, maybe we adjust. But, bro, Austin Jackson is not the fucking answer.
No,
he's not.
Nope.
And the problem is, obviously, management and or coaching staff thinks, okay, we're going in with Austin Jackson. And so they're like, fuck it, we got this. And what's going to happen in one of these early games, that defensive end is going to come slipping around that right side. He's going to come in there and he's going to crack Tua right in the fucking ribs. And Tua's going to have broken ribs, and this whole fan base is going to go nuts.
Hey, it'll be worse if he got a concussion.
Oh, yeah, well, you're right. Yeah. Say Austin Jackson misses that defensive end slipping around the tackle, and Tua gets a concussion in about week 2, and he's in.
And then everybody will blame Tua instead of blaming Austin Jackson and all that other bullshit.
It's crazy as fuck. He is what he is. You blame the front office for not addressing the issue.
And then you blame management. We're guys, I've said this before. I'll say it right now. We're Miami Dolphins fans, and I'm one of them. We are a victim of bad management right now. I'm sorry. That's what's going on right now. If you see all this infighting amongst fans against Tua and this and
here's my take on that. After watching him for so many years, I can't totally agree with that when I look at their roster, because management built their roster, and they are the most talented roster that I have seen them have in 25 years. So you got to give them credit for doing what they did. And G-Man, I was with you on the Darnell Washington thing for all along until they were talking about his injuries. That he had some kind of hidden thing. That's why he dropped on everybody.
Ron.
He had 3 foot injuries in subsequent years. 1 required surgery, and he might require surgery.
Ron. Stephen Ross is sitting there with an open checkbook.
Right.
Me or you could build this fucking roster.
Well, you gotta have the capital.
Stephen Ross is sitting there with an open checkbook. And me and you would have a fucking offensive line built like the fucking pigs back with the Redskins in the fucking 70s.
Well, I was saying when they were drafted Tua that it was too early. They needed to build the offensive and defensive lines before they drafted a quarterback.
I agree.
And everybody was against, no, you got to draft a quarterback. No, you draft a quarterback on a bad line. You're putting him in a bad situation to begin with. That's why so many quarterbacks in over the history of the NFL come out number 1 and they're busts because they're going to bad teams that are expecting them to lift them up and be the savior, but they got a shit team around them.
Thank you.
You don't draft a quarterback.
Bad recipe.
The protection.
It's a bad recipe. It's bad management.
Yet teams do it year in and year out.
It's bad management is what it is.
Yep. I mean, I mean, again, and I agree with G-Man, and we've said that as well, and that's where, again, I felt like, whether it was Durham Smythe or someone else, where I need a capable fucking blocker who has decent hands. I don't need a fucking Gesicki at tight end.
Right.
I don't need a fucking wide receiver at tight. That's why I have a wide receiver.
That's why I was banging the drum for this kid Washington all before the draft. Until I couldn't believe he dropped, and we had a shot at him, but I had no idea about these foot injuries.
Yep. And I forgot who brought it up when we were doing it live, but yeah, it's. I would rather just see, and that's my whole point, and I agree with you, G-Man, and that's where I was just going, is it was the same thing about, why fucking build a whole new scheme and get 5 weapons to counteract the bad offensive line when you could just fix the problem with 3. It's like, if you're going to get a tight end to fucking help Austin Jackson, then you might as well get a fucking tackle to just fix the fucking problem to begin with. You know what I mean?
MCJB, what's up, bro?
So, yeah, man, like I said, it's that's where it comes down to, is you got to fucking make the decision to fix it.
MCJB. What's up, baby? Get your ass up here.
And CT, it goes back to the same thing. How is it that you and I and the fan base can see it, and they're just, are they that close-minded? Are they that adamant about just trying to make their draft picks work? I don't get it.
Yeah, man. It's the same thing of what I said about the competition. How are you going to sit here and tell me you're going to bring in competition for Austin Jackson, but the only competition you bring in are undrafted guys and a 7th rounder? Come on, bro. That's not fucking.
Yeah, like I said, that's a slap in the face, is what that is.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole purpose is, or the whole intent behind it is, fix the O-line. And then you don't need all those fucking extra weapons. You can fucking build your weapons as needed, but you don't have to have 5 of them to cover up 2 bad offensive linemen.
Kansas City lost Tyreek Hill, rebuilt their offensive line, and had a 7th round pick at running back, win the Super Bowl.
Well,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A running back's a different story in the 7th round than a tackle. Did y'all see the clip of that tackle that we got getting his fucking ass handed to him at the combine? He went 1-on-1 with some guy, and the guy just fucking pushed him. He went flying like a fucking rag doll.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds about right for Chris Greer picks.
Yeah. I was like, okay. The guy, I don't know who the defensive guy was, but yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. And I mean,
you're right.
Go ahead, Ron.
I'm just going to say G-Man's right. I mean, in this league, with the premier pass rushers that you face, eventually all the scheming that you can do is wonderful, getting the ball out quick, everything. Eventually, these guys are so good, they're going to get to you.
Yes. Right. You could dodge them about 80, maybe 80 to 90% of the time, but that 10 to 20% of the time, they're going to get that ass.
I'll allow Tua. Tua can fucking, he's got enough pocket presence. Yeah. He can avoid most of the sacks, but he's still going to get fucking sacked.
And the 10 to 20% in the 4th quarter, when you got to run the ball to hold the lead and extend drives, that's where you're going to get fucked too.
Yep. Because they're going to be coming hard, and that's where that offensive line comes in that Chris Greer is undervaluing. Yep. And Mike McDaniel. He's the blame. I shouldn't blame Chris Greer. It's more Mike McDaniel, man.
And Frank Smith too. Again, see, this is the one negative, right? So we all last offseason, we found out, oh shit, look at this staff he's building. He's got, 3 offensive line coaches on his staff, and yet the O-line still fucking sucked.
Yep, I remember us all saying that, because Frank Smith, Trent Embry, the tight ends coach, McDaniel, they all had experience with offensive lines. We all thought that was going to help improve these guys, and obviously didn't happen.
Right. Yeah.
But what I am looking forward to this year is, again, with our new weapons, Tua coming out, hopefully staying healthy. hopefully they address it in some way, shape, or form. And man, I can't wait to see offensively what we're going to do and defensively.
I can't see how many turnovers we're going to get this year. We were last in turnovers last year, and Fangio's defense is heavily reliant on turnovers because they disguise the defense into having the quarterbacks throw into places they shouldn't be throwing. And with all of our ball hawks, man, I cannot wait to see how many turnovers we're going to get this year.
Hell yeah. Especially having Needham back, it allows us so much flexibility. And bringing in that other coverage safety, allowing us to have flexibility with Brandon Jones, possibly play him in that hybrid linebacker safety role. I'm super excited for it.
We had no short fields last year because we had very few turnovers. So imagine this getting the ball, on the other side of the 50 instead of having to drive the whole field every time they get the ball.
Yeah, no, you're right. And G-Man, spot on, because I don't want to keep beating this offensive line dead horse.
That's why we moved on.
Yeah, I know, and that's why we did transition. But
I think that again, our defense is going to be another. We all know that defenses start faster than offenses. Now, I hope that with Tua being again for the first time in his NFL career having the same offense coordinator, I really think that we should see improvement there. And I'm super excited to, the defense is definitely going to carry the fucking offense early in the season, but to what extent? Because it's Vic Fangio, but our guys are learning a whole new fucking system other than guys like Chubb and shit who've played for him before and knows all his terminology and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and here's the other thing that I'm pleasantly optimistic about. The fact that the games that Tua had trouble with or struggled with were against Fangio defenses. He's going to be facing that every day in practice. He's going to learn how to beat these defenses before we have to face them.
Yeah, I could understand that argument. I mean, that is a good positive. And with the talent we have, it should definitely be a good battle for them, and iron sharpens iron. So we should definitely see some good battles in the offseason. I'm just more, you get we'll have rookie mini camp, and then we'll have OTAs, and then you'll have preseason, obviously. And it's now that you start getting frustrated after the draft. You're going to have rookie mini camp, then you'd have to wait a month and a half for OTAs. And then we jump. We got another month after that, and then they start playing preseason games. So it's a long fucking wait to sit here and see all this shit on paper.
When do the schedules come out as far as what day?
Let me see what the schedule release is.
So do you think that they held back our rookies last year because McDaniel was more confident in the players that he knew his first year, and same thing with Boyer?
What rookie?
Well, Easy E, Channing Tindall, they didn't really see the field much.
Well, I think Easy E got beat out by Braylon Sanders is part of that, and I think Channing is part of a victim. I think you're right. I think he's part of a victim of the coaching, not knowing what the fuck to do with them, especially Josh Boyer. I look for Channing Tindall because he was a really, really good player at Georgia in college, man.
Well, Easy E flashed in the preseason.
Easy E's got flashes.
I think Daniel is comfortable with guys that he's already comfortable with.
Easy E's a little bit bigger, but Ron, let me tell you something. Braylon Sanders is a beast.
Yeah, but I'm not on the field and Craycraft beating them out, not getting on the field
Hey, we'll see. We got a hell of a wide receiver room.
No question.
Hell of a wide receiver room.
The thing is how many of these wide receivers are willing to block, and that's the difference. And I think that's part of why Cedric Wilson didn't play a lot.
You're right.
It's because we had Craycraft and Sherfield who are willing to block.
I think you hit it right on the head there, CT. I think you're right.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Gesicki.
Yeah.
Gesicki wasn't utilized very much because he can't fucking block.
Yeah.
And then people scratch their head. Oh, what? Yeah, because he can't fucking block, and we're tired of telegraphing shit. So if you can't block and catch, then fuck it. You're going to be on the bench.
Yeah, I think you hit that right on the head there, CT. I think you're right there.
Yeah.
Especially wide receivers coming out of college, they're not used to blocking.
Yeah. And I agree, G-Man. Yeah, we heard a lot of stuff. It was, he was having a hard time learning the defense. We also heard that, even though the limited snaps we did give him, that he was slow in processing the shit on the field too. Whereas, again, you're not going to put him in a Baker role or a
Landon Roberts.
Roberts role, if he can't get the shit down. And I believe, again, I'm hoping that David Long Jr., again, who's going to be taking Roberts' place, is up to the task. Like I said, everybody said he was decent, but I don't know a lot about him.
If you go back and watch the games, Roberts played really well last year.
Oh, man. Yeah. I am not going down that rabbit hole with you, Ron. I know
you don't like him in coverage. I know, CT, I know you don't like him in coverage, but, man, he was stout against the run.
Well, that's when he chose the right holes. But, yes, when he chose the right holes and didn't dive at their feet and missed the tackle, yes.
What about so Long is an upgrade, right?
Yeah, so, David Long is supposed to be an upgrade, and so I'm good with that. But it's, again, like Ron's talking about how complex this defense is going to be. Shit, if Channing Tindall couldn't fucking get Boyer's defense, how in the fuck is he going to learn how to run fucking Fangios?
Because Fangio is a better communicator. He's a better coach.
I saw one of the defensive guys say that Fangio's system, it's so simple yet so complex.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying, if things are going to be complex for him, bro, if he couldn't understand Josh Boyers, I don't know if he's going to pick up Fangio's, but we'll see, bro. We'll see. It's another thing with Cameron Good, I mean, why didn't Cameron Good play? And we all know Eazy-E, they were supposedly teaching in the F position. Man, I don't give a fuck what you were teaching him. I don't care if he got pink eye from wiping his ass and not washing his. I don't care. The point is the dude was not on the fucking field. Period.
Exactly.
Period. I don't want to hear none of that other nonsensical bullshit. I don't want to hear your excuses. The dude he wasn't ready. Just admit it. Just admit I drafted it. I let Wes Welker draft a guy, and he drafted a guy that just wasn't ready. Just be honest. Stop trying to lie to me about it.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what infuriates me too about this team is you're gonna sit here and lie to my fucking face like I'm stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like Eazy-E or Good. Oh, or Tyndall having a hard time. Okay, you were honest about him, but the only reason you're honest about him is because our fucking fans were giving shit to the linebackers coach and fucking Boyer.
All the fans, they're gonna be saying, "Where's Eazy-E? What's up with the Eazy-E?"
Exactly.
The press is gonna be hitting all the coaches, and the coaches are not gonna want to say it. But Braylon Sanders is going to be out there outperforming the fuck out of Eazy-E.
He hit it right on the head. It all has to do with blocking.
Yeah.
I like Eazy-E. Maybe he'll be a good receiver. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if he can't block, he ain't going to be a receiver here.
Why don't we bring in Chosen and Barrios? And then –
and I think Barrios is a decent blocker.
Blocks. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Barrios is a decent blocker.
No. I mean, they're good receivers, but damn, how many receivers do we want in our receiver room?
Well, we're only going to keep 6, possibly put 1 or 2 on the practice squad.
Okay.
And again, it's going to be Hill, Waddle. If we don't trade away Cedric, but I think we have to.
I think you would think so. We'll count him out.
But
So
yeah, you're going to keep Craycraft because Craycraft is on special teams.
Barrios.
You're going to keep Braylon Sanders probably. So that's 5.
He could go to practice squad too, though.
Well, yeah, or you can keep Barrios and have one of the younger guys go to practice squad.
Chosen. That's 6.
Chosen make it.
No, that's 7. If you put Barrios in there, then that's 6.
Yeah, and then Chosen.
And that's 7. But is he going to make the practice squad?
That's what I'm saying. We're at 7 right there. Those are all good receivers.
I think you keep Chosen over Sanders.
Over who?
Sanders.
Braylon?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're about to see.
Let me tell you something. When Robbie Anderson was on, he was good, man. I unfortunately had to watch him with the Jets. He was always taking 80-yard touchdown to the house.
I will bet you, Rob. I'll bet you a Big Mac that Braylon Sanders makes his team before Chosen.
I'm not going to bet that only because Chosen has some other issues that may prevent him from staying on the team.
All right.
But talent-wise, I would much rather see Chosen.
No, I like Chosen, but you don't know about Braylon Sanders, dude. He is a fucking beast. I've been telling y'all.
The only game I saw him play, he fumbled.
He did fall. I know, and I hate that. I hate that because it. But believe me, there was a reason he was in that game, which that was about midseason, and he's a rookie in there playing.
It was Detroit game, right?
Was it Detroit?
I think it was.
Yeah, maybe.
I think they were going into score after Detroit scored, and he fumbled, and then they went up.
Yeah, I know that sucks. I hated to see it, but he'll be back. Like I said, I'm an Ole Miss fan. He went to Ole Miss. He started as a true freshman. He was wide receiver 3 next to AJ Brown and DK Metcalf.
Wow, that's a hell of a receiving core.
Oh my God! And Braylon balled, man. He balled out because the other guys are so covered. They were throwing to Braylon. Huh? Well, I really don't know, man. I really don't know because even no injuries that I know of, man.
Off the field issues. Did he have any off the field issues?
Not that I know of. No. I'm not sure what that is. He's a little bit undersized, but he's like 6 foot, 6'1". He's not that undersized. He almost reminds me of like without the Antonio Brown, without the head issues. He's like that type of. he's like that type of player. He's like a really, really good receiver. He's like. You wouldn't think he would be that good, but he's fucking just a badass.
Is he as fast as Brown?
I don't know. He may be. By the time he was so he started off with AJ Brown and DK Metcalf as wide receiver 3 as a true freshman. By the time he was a senior, he was a wide receiver 1, and he fucking dominated in the SEC. Nobody in the SEC could cover him. And even in the bowl game, he smoked a dude from Baylor who was like the number one team that year and scored a touchdown. This guy is a beast, man.
That's why I'm curious as to why he didn't get drafted.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't know. He
went to Ole Miss.
I mean, he went to Ole Miss, and I mean, I really
don't know. That's exactly why.
We stole him, but he showed out last year in preseason. And he ended up playing during the season. He was out there on the field balling, man, or trying to ball. But look out for him, man.
Easy flashed in the preseason too. Remember?
Yeah, Easy did. But Easy did. Did Easy make the field? He didn't. He made the field a couple times last year.
Yeah, he might have got snaps, maybe. I mean, it wasn't much.
Yeah, he had less than 4 or 5 snaps, bro. I don't. He's just like fucking Tanner Connor, or not Tanner Connor, Hunter Long. We saw Hunter Long like twice all year.
Yeah. He has 1 reception. One reception for his career.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's the same thing. It's the same thing with the linebackers, bro. This is the fucking issue I have, and this is where when you talk about it, bro. We draft tight ends and draft tight ends and draft tight ends, and yet here we are. You know, you draft a linebacker, they're not playing. You draft tight ends, they're not fucking playing, and it's like it's not that well, we got good guys and they're just not ready to overtake them. No, we're talking about you're not even using Mike Gesicki. You're using fucking Durham Smythe and what was the other guy before we traded him? Shaheen. And, bro, Gesicki couldn't get on the field for that. But then you draft Hunter Long high. You draft fucking Tanner Connor the very next year.
He's undrafted, Tanner Connor.
He was? Oh, whatever. Well, then you get a fucking you bring in Tanner Connor. Gesicki's not playing. Hunter Long's not playing. Fucking Tanner Connor played a couple snaps because again we traded Shaheen. But it's like, bro, what are we fucking doing here? Yep. It's always a clusterfuck of something.
Yeah, that's another position that we haven't had a lot of success since. I don't know, Randy McMichael. Might have been the last good that we drafted.
Yeah,
man, I really thought McDaniel would excel with the Gesicki. I was like, Gesicki's about to be a beast.
Yeah, but it's like I said in the offseason last season. Remember, Bleezing, we were talking about it, and I told you, there's no way you got Cedric Wilson. We brought in all the, Chase Edmonds to flex out of the backfield. Bro, we had, Trent Sherfield and all those receivers. Bro, we knew Gesicki wasn't going to be sitting there in the fucking slot all day game. There's 7 other guys that are fucking vying for snaps there.
Yeah.
And then you act surprised when you don't see Gesicki play. It baffles me. Bro, I told you guys the last offseason he wasn't going to fucking play. I told you he wasn't going to play, and y'all didn't believe me. And guess what? I was fucking right.
No, he played every game. He only got 51 targets the whole year. He played every game.
I understand that. But again, he wasn't in fucking position to make plays. And how many times that, again, they were pairing him. Targets. They were pairing him with Durham Smythe. The problem is
Tyreek got 171 targets.
No, and I understand that. But what I'm saying is with Gesicki, because he could not block, they did not play him as often.
Fairfield and Craycraft got more snaps because
I know.
That's what I'm saying. But then everybody acts upset that he's not fucking getting 1,000. Bro,
look at me. I'm going to cut you off, CT. Look how many targets Smythe got last year. I think it was like fucking 12, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, which the thing is Smythe doesn't need those. Smythe is in there to fucking block. It just so happens that every once in a while, he's able to go out and get a catch and fucking, he's got decent enough hands to catch so that we can get a first down or fucking catch the defense off guard.
I mean, we got Gesicki getting 50 targets, Smythe getting 12, the other guy's getting half a dozen. I mean, we're not going to the tight end, man. That's on McDaniel.
Well, that's where you're misunderstanding. That's his scheme. His scheme is to throw to wide receivers. His scheme is to use the tight ends to block in the run game. That's his scheme.
Okay, so we're not using. So okay, that's a learning. I learn something every day. You're telling me that we're really tight ends are not going to be a weapon in this offense.
Kittle does not get a lot of targets, but he gets big plays because he's so good at blocking that when he does get open, he goes out, he's wide open.
Yeah, that's the whole premise is in these West Coast offenses, they want to run the ball and they want to pass the ball, but then they're going to sprinkle in that tight end fucking throw every once in a while to keep the defense honest.
About 50 targets.
I mean,
I got you.
yeah, they're not. He's not like he doesn't play the fucking, 5 wide. I'm going to put the tight end in the slot and I got 4 other. Bro, we did that and we had success, but then we went away from it. That's the whole point is, yeah, when we were running 5 wide and we had Gesicki out there, yeah, he was making some plays. But the problem is we weren't going 5 wide very often because we would fucking do it well. And then Mike McDaniel go, oh, this is working. Let me stop doing that.
I bet you half of Gesicki's targets were in the red zone.
Yeah, and we remember him doinking 2 off his fucking face mask this year.
That's true.
Yeah.
Dude can make fucking spectacular one-handed catches, but the ball's right in your freaking basket, right up in your grill, and it just doinks. But you can make a fucking one-handed catch doing a fucking cartwheel. You can do a one-handed catch doing a fucking cartwheel, but you can't catch a fucking end zone pass with 2 hands.
Doink.
And the one catch he didn't make was that 4th down against Buffalo.
Yep.
Ooh, that hurts.
But again, this is Gesicki, and again, you got to transition your idea of, I mean, I think that McDaniel had every, sub package and whatever for Gesicki, but he couldn't fucking block, so he's going to be a contributor. He would rather put in the fucking wide receivers that can block, that they can run a pass, and they can fucking block.
The perfect tight end for McDaniel is Anthony Fasano.
Exactly. Exactly.
I like that.
Hell yeah. Him and fucking before he fucking turned into a biatch and went to Buffalo, Charles Clay.
Yep.
Charles Clay was the same way.
Yeah.
Broke a fucking block, and then every once in a while, throw him the fucking ball.
Put him to sleep, and he's 20 yards downfield. Because
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I liked him, man. He's a beast. Clay.
Yeah, and that's what we're missing is we don't have tight ends like that. And I mean, I get it. Gesicki as a receiving tight end is a great player. He just doesn't fit this scheme.
No.
He just doesn't.
And I
Belichick's about to fucking give him about fucking 90 targets.
Belichick uses those tight ends like nobody else.
Yeah, he does.
Did he really go to the fucking Patriots?
Yeah.
For $4 million, CT.
And so did who else went up there, Ron? We had another player go up there, didn't we?
Did we?
A running back or somebody else went up there.
Oh no, Sherfield went to Buffalo.
Sherfield went to Buffalo. Somebody else went to maybe I'm thinking of Devontae Parker. He's already up there.
No, I think you are right. I think there was another player that went there after Gesicki.
Somebody else went up there.
I can't remember right now, but I think you're right.
I know Devontae. So Devontae Parker and Gesicki are going to be playing for the Patriots now.
Yeah, what good did they do us? Who cares?
Oh God!
Let's see Parker do out jump Holland or Ramsey for a 50-50 ball.
You know, Devontae will be hurt, and Gesicki will get 1 target.
I mean, when he's got Mac Noodle Arm Jones throwing to him, or when Mac Jones decides to throw the ball into 6-tuple coverage, I mean, Gesicki might get a catch or 2.
He might get a deflection.
Oh shit! But hey, we're gonna shut it down. We appreciate everybody coming out tonight. We appreciate the support, like and sub. Hey, Ron, any final thoughts, brother?
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. You know me. I'm a homer. I'm still optimistic. This team is gonna make some waves. I think they can be special. I think this defense can really be special. And I think if the defense does what I think it could do, it's just gonna uplift the offense, give them shorter fields to work with, give them more possessions, and I think we could do some damage in the AFC this year. I really do.
I agree. Great take.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my final thoughts are, man, like I said, I think that I just can't wait for the season. It's going to be a long couple months having to fucking wait this shit out. You know, more power to everybody on the, Twitter doing all that stuff every day. Like, hey, it's time consuming. All the names of people, all the ins and outs that are going to be coming in and out. And, it's all on paper right now. I can't wait for the preseason to start, OTAs to come out, get some video out of that, get some real action in. I'm super excited for where we're trending. We brought in a lot of good talent this off season. And going into a year 2 with Mike McDaniel, I'm super excited.
Awesome, man. Hey, we'll be here 2 weeks from today. Every other Monday night, 8:30 p.m. sharp. We're going to be here rocking it. We appreciate everybody coming out. We appreciate you, Ron. Please come back.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, man. G-Man, everybody, we appreciate it, man. Much love, and we'll be seeing y'all around.
Fins up.
Fins up, brother.